Good evening, all. Hope everyone doing well. I think many sessions of Nata has been already over, and I just come across the responses of a few. So, few of my students have got non-verbal majority question papers, and few of them got arithmetic majority question papers. So, a mix of question papers is happening, and many of them are getting in a question paper like 2 or 3 arithmetic questions. Many got like that. Okay, there are some other events also happen, like few of them get many arithmetic questions and 3 or 4 non-verbal questions. That thing also happened in these exams in the past weeks. I think many of my students has crossed 100 plus. Okay, I'm just talking about all my personal online as well as offline classes in THiNC. Okay, so that's students of THiNC. As per my knowledge, many of them has crossed 100 plus. That means out of 120, I found a few had already crossed 100 plus scores. So a score which is greater than 100 would be better for getting a good admission. Okay, because now the competition is very high and the question paper is comparatively easy. And the deciding factor in these question papers are the arithmetic questions. So yeah, obviously we can solve or we can get marks with non-verbal questions, and we could gain marks up to 90 or 95. We will be getting 2 arithmetic questions, sorry, 2 non-verbal questions, and there are 2-3 questions if we are giving it in arithmetics, and that will take us to above 100, and you will be among the toppers. Okay, and without much hassles and mental tensions, you will be get an admission. Unless if you are not scoring well in topics like arithmetics, and there will be a win-win chance will come, like a 50-50 possibility and a lot of tensions. So we need to have a tension-free score. That is the plan. So that is why we will be discussing, I think my last 2 sessions were on non-verbal reasoning. And non-verbal reasoning is comparatively easy to learn as well as easy to score marks. And don't waste much time on those topics, which is very easy, because we have some tough nuts to crack. So we need to focus on those topics also in between. So I think my last 2 sprint I had covered 2/3 of the portion. Actually, I have a plan to cover the entire non-verbal in 3 sessions. So already within the 2 sessions, I had covered a majority. So I think you can refer them to the THiNC YouTube channel over here, THiNC Institute of Design channel. There is a playlist specifically dedicated to the topics of Nata. Okay, a Nata sprint is being given there. And this is my second session on arithmetics. And you can look into the previous sessions through that playlist. So the link of the playlist also we will be providing in the active chat later. So over there, you guys could find that through our playlist list. Okay, so you can find, I think you can find it at the top. So today we will be getting into arithmetic first, and I think we can start with percentage. Percentage is acting as the base of many of the topics, like profit, loss, simple interest, compound interest. Many topics is having that particular topic as a base. Okay, so I think we can start from the scratch. So 1 second, I will share my screen. So I expect my students to have their pen and paper ready with them. Okay, so then we can solve questions in a very quick manner, and you can put your responses in the chat as much as quick as possible. So we can start from percentage. So percentage. I think my screen is visible to all. So percentage is quite famous. I think 12th results being out yesterday, and many of you maybe encountered that question, how much percentage you got. I'm just talking about the perspective of the Kerala, and as well as ICSE also had been already. State board like Kerala has been published their results in last day, and ICSE also published, and CBSE is yet to publish their results. Once that results are available, then your what dear and near ones as well as relatives, dear and near ones like far and far ones was also okay. We'll start to ask about how much percentage you got. So that topic, that is what we are going to learn today. So let's get into the basics of the percentage. So actually, I hope you're familiar that 1 by 2. What is 1 by 2? 1 by 2 is 50%. I think it's quite famous. Okay, 1 by 2 is 50%. We can start from what we know. Okay, so how to convert a fraction like 1 by 2 into percentage? Simply multiply it with 100. You will be getting corresponding percentage. Okay, then 1 stands for 100%. Okay, so simply if we write x means this is 1x, that is 100% of x. Keep this in mind. It will help you to solve questions. Sometimes x plus 20% of x we need to take, and it will be like 120% of x, because actually simply x is 100% of x, because that is 1x. Okay, this is how it is 120% of x. So just keep these basic things in mind while solving questions from this particular chapter. So 1 by 2 is here. Now it is 1 by 3. So actually I'm trying to make your maths a little bit more quicker. That is why we are discussing this shortcut oriented. Okay, so we are going to discuss it in a way of shortcut oriented. So 1 by 3, that is equal to 33 and 1 by 3%. Okay, 33 and 1 by 3%. And what about 1 by 4? You can write this like in this way also. Sorry, 33.33%. In this way also you can write. And 1 by 4, that is equal to 25%. It's actually familiar because half of 1 by 2 is 1 by 4. Okay, so actually these are the building blocks of this chapter. 1 by 5, that is 20%. Okay, if you felt any value to learn uncomfortable, that means for me to by heart this value is uncomfortable, don't go for by heart, understand it, that's enough. Okay, don't go for by heart, just simply understand it, because 1 is 100%, half of that is 1 by 2, that is 50%, half of that is 1 by 4, that is 25%. Okay, similarly 1 by 6, how will you remember 1 by 6? Half of 1 by 3, 33.33, half of 33.33, 16.66%. That's it. Okay, 1 by 3, half of 1 by 3, half of 1 by 3 is 1 by 6. So just take the half of the value of 1 by 3. That's it, 1 by 6. So now come over here. It is 16 and 0.66 is 2 by 3 actually. So remember these values. 1 by 7. 1 by 7, what is the value of 1 by 7? Actually, it is difficult to remember the value, but with a shortcut, we can easily remember. So double of 7 is simply 14. 14 point. Double of 14, that is 28. So we learn the value. Double. 1 by 7. Double. Okay, we learn the value. Double. 1 by 8. 1 by 4 is 25%. 1 by 8. What is 1 by 8? Half of 1 by 4. Half of 1 by 4 is 1 by 8. So it is 12.5%. It is 12.5%. The next one is 1 by 9. 1 by 9. How will you remember 1 by 9? Connect and learn with 1 by 3. 1 by 3. 1/3 of 1 by 3. What is the value of 1 by 3? 33.33%. Half, 1/3 of that. That is 11.11%. Easy to remember. Next is 1 by 10. 1 by 10 is not much difficult. It is 10%. You can take a screenshot of values, or you can write it somewhere near you, these values, because we are going to see the magic of these values through some questions. Okay, we are going to see the magic of these values. I think these values are clear. Now you guys can solve this question. This is your first question. 16 and 2 by 3 percentage of 600 plus 33 and 1 by 3 percentage of 900. Okay, you guys can put the responses in the chat. Let me see your speed. How fast you are going to solve this question. I had already given you the hints for solving this question. 16 and 2 by 3 percentage of 600 plus 33 and 1 by 3 percentage of 900. I'm looking for your answers in the live chat. Everyone can put that. Okay, in between, I will be giving you some clues. Like if a question comes, 25 percentage of 260. If a question like this comes, or 25 percentage of 240. If a question like this comes, go for 1 by 4 of 240. That's it, 60. Okay, that is 60. I could find the answer of Angel. Others also, I want to put your answers here. If a question comes, 33.33 percentage of 240. That is 1 by 3 of 240 is asked. Okay, that is 80. And if a question comes, 58.33 percentage of 240, we can easily solve it in this way, like 25 percentage plus 33.33 percentage, that is 58.33 percentage. So into 240. So that is, you can do it like 25 percentage of 240 plus 33.33 percentage of 240. That is 25 percentage of 240. We know that it is 60 because this is 1 by 4 of 240 plus 33.33. That is 1/3 of 240. That is 80. So answer is 140. If actually we will be doing it like this, 50.33 divided by 100 into 240. We will waste our complete time by multiplying 58.33 with 240. Okay, so it's a hectic job. It is a hectic job. Do it. Use your common sense. Do it in this way. Solve the question as quick as possible. Here, 16 and 2 by 3 percentage means 1 by 6 of 600 plus 33 and 1 by 3. 1 by 3 of 900. Now it is cancel this. This is 100. This is 300. How much time we are taking? We are just simply looking into the question and we are simply solving it. 400. Directly we are getting. So next question. And I will be waiting in the chat. Angel, very good. Angel given it right. So just solve this question. What should be added in 15 percentage of 160 to get 25 percentage of 240? Okay. So we can take it like x should be added to 15 percentage of 160. Okay, we are just taking like that. X should be added to 15 percentage of 160 to get 25 percentage of 240. We rewritten the question. The question is being rewritten here. Okay, now we are going to solve this. So first of all, what is 15 percentage of 160? You can solve it like this, 15 by 100 into 160. But I won't promote this method, okay? Because you can split this 10 percentage plus 5 percentage. Actually, 5 percentage is a half of 10 percentage of 160. So 10 percentage of 160 plus 5 percentage of 160. Easy to find. 10 percentage of 160 means remove a 0. 16. 5 percentage of 160. Half of 16, 8. That is 24. So x plus 24. X plus 24. Okay, x plus 24 equal to 25 percentage of 240. That is 1 by 4 of 240. That is 60, equal to 60. Now we can solve for x, like Angel commented here, 60 minus 24. That is 36. Option D, 36. It's over. Okay, option D, 36. That is the right answer. So by the next time, if a question comes like 15 percentage of 260, if it is coming, to me next time. So I will be solving it like 26, 13, 39. So 15% of 260 is simply 39. Okay, 15% of 260 is simply 39. You can easily solve it. How? Because for 10%, remove a 0. For the 5%, take the half of 10%. That's it. Okay, that's it. If a question comes, 18% of 300, okay, or 18% of like 350 is coming. Okay, 18% of 350. If a question like this comes, how will you solve 18% of 350? You can multiply 18 by 100 into 350. That is one way. Otherwise, with your presence of mind, you can take it like 20 minus 2. 20% minus 2% is 18% of 350. Finding 20% is easy because double of 10% is 20%. That means 10% is obviously 35. Double of that, 20% is 70. 2% is 7. Because 1 by 10 of 20% is equal to 2%. So remove a 0. This is 63. Nothing in this. Nothing in this what percentage. There is not that much hectic thing. We are making things in a complicated way. We have very quicker methods to solve these things. Okay, so let's try another question. Any doubts coming across this, you can put it in the live chat. We can have a detailed discussion on that. So next question is here. You guys can read and solve. So currently we have some offline and online batches running in progress, and online batches admissions are still in progress. And if you want, then you can approach the THiNC peoples, that means us, through the number provided in the live chat. And I will be showing that number once later after this question. And for the annotated copies of these arithmetic PDFs, you can approach the number provided in the chat. They will be availing it as much as quick as possible. Okay, because after the session, I need to send that PDFs to them and they need to send it to you. Okay, so if you want, you can directly approach them through the numbers provided in the chat. So I think we can solve the question over here. So by an increase of 20%, the monthly wages of a person becomes 24,000. Okay, so his old salary, you can take it like X. His new salary, what is his new salary? That is X plus 20% of X. Okay, X plus 20% of X. That is equal to, it is not simply X. This is 100% of X, because that is 1X. I told you earlier, 100% of X plus 20% of X. That is 120% of X. So 120% of X is equal to how much? 120% of X. 2400. So now we need to find what is X. So that is X into 120 by 100. That is equal to 2400. One more zero. Okay. So over here, be careful when the offer comes you for a salary. Be careful about the zeros. So 120, that is X. So this is 2. So 0000. 20,000 was his salary, and Angel is right here. Very good. Okay, I want all of you to put your answers here. So now you guys can solve this question. I'll be looking for your responses in the chat. Quick. There are 30 boys and 20 girls in a class. 80% of boys and 90% of girls. 80% of boys and 90% of girls got First division. Solve this, solve this. So, what is the percentage of students who got first division in the class? That is the question. So now let's solve this. 30%, 30 boys and 20 girls, 80% of boys. That means 80% of 30. 80% of 30 plus 90% of 20 passed the exam. Okay. So we are going to find how many of them passed the exam. So 80% of 30 means, actually this is 80 by 100 into 30. Okay, 80 by 100 into 30. Or you can cancel the zeros and 8 into 3, that is 24. Plus 90% of 20, that is 18 only. So how many passed this exam? That is only 42. Okay, out of 42, out of 50, because it's 30 and 20, 50 students. So how will you convert into percentage? Multiply with 100, that's it. 84. Angel, very good, very good. Okay, Angel is right here. So the next question. So the price of a commodity is decreased by 20%. How much percentage must a household increase the consumption of that commodity so as not to decrease the expenditure on the commodity? There are two cases happening in the market. Okay, two cases happening in the market. One is like increasing price. Say, just take tomato. Okay, just take tomato. I'm just giving you an example with tomato. So the tomato's price was 100 rupees. Okay, so with that 100 rupees, we are able to buy 1 kilogram and we want 1 kilogram. And suddenly the price of tomato has been increased. And now the price of tomato per kg is 120. Or the price of, the price of tomato will be like how much increased? Like 135 rupees. Okay, so now within 100 rupees, how much tomato we can consume? Around 0.75 kilo. Okay, that means around 0.75 kilogram. That means 3/4 of a kilogram now we can consume. That means how much we need to reduce, how much percentage we have to reduce. That is what we are going to find using these questions. So in this case, the amount has been reduced. Earlier, we bought tomatoes for 100 rupees. Okay, we bought 1 kilogram. Now the value of tomato has been reduced to 80 rupees per kg. Now we are able to buy 1.25 for 100 rupees. That means we need to increase consumption to balance the budget. Okay, this is what happening over here. So the price of a commodity is decreased. So there is an equation. Okay, so if a price of a commodity is decreased by X percentage, and how much percentage household increase the consumption of that commodity so as not to decrease the expenditure. That means the formula is X by 100 minus X into 100. So in this question, after proper substitutions, this will be become 20 by 100 minus 20 into 100. That is 20 by 80 into 100. Can cancel. This is 1 by 4. That is 25%. So he needs to increase his consumption by 25%. Okay, that is the requirement. He need to increase his consumption by 25%. Okay, I think it's clear. So now let's check the opposite. If I'm just going to rewrite over here, the price of a commodity is increased. I'm going to use opposite words. Increased by 20%. How much percent must household decrease? the consumption of that commodities was known to increase the expenditure. Okay, if it is decreased by X percentage, then percentage to reduce is equal to X by 100 plus X into 100. In this question, it will be like 20 by 120 into 100. That is like 1 by 6 into 100. That is 16 and 2 by 3 percentage. So if the commodities price is increased by 20 percentage, we need to reduce the consumption by 16 and 2 by 3 percentage. Okay, so this is a special case. So this is percentage to increase. Okay, increase consumption. So percentage to increase consumption, that is X by 100. You can copy both of the equations. Okay, you can copy both of the equations. So now we will be moving into the next question. Another cliche question from this chapter. Hi, Angel, very good for the previous question. Good. So if reduced salary is, so there is a method for solving these questions. Assume any salary. Assume a value for a salary. Okay, how much Naman is getting? Naman is getting 100 rupees, assume. Okay, assume Naman is going to get 100 rupees. Ritu is getting, Ritu's salary is 50% more than Naman's salary. So she is getting 150. So in this way, assume some values and solve. That's it. That's it, this question. So if Ritu's salary is 50% more than Naman's salary, then this is then. Okay, typo, pardon me. Then Naman's salary is how much percent? Less than Ritu's salary. Okay, so then Naman's salary is how much percentage less than Ritu's salary. So we are comparing with respect to Ritu. We are comparing with respect to Ritu. What? Difference in their salary. We are comparing the difference with Ritu. Okay. So over here, the difference in salary, that is Ritu's salary minus Naman's salary. That is 150 minus 100. That is 50. Divided by Ritu's salary is 150 rupees. By 150, you can multiply with 100. So over here, multiplying with 100, you will be getting like 1 by 3. That is 33.33. Pardon me. This is 1. Okay, 33.33%. That is 33 and 1 by 3 percentage. 33 and 1 by 3 percentage. Okay, same you can compare. So how much percentage is Ritu's salary is more than Naman's salary. So here we are comparing with Naman. Okay. So the difference will be difference there. So over here, it will be like 150 minus 100 by 100. So it will be like 50 by 100 into 100. That means a common 100 is there to multiply. So it is 50%. That is given in the question. So Naman's salary, Ritu's salary is 50% more than Naman's salary. And Naman's salary is 33.33% or 33 and 1 by 3 percentage less than Ritu's salary. Okay. So you can take this question as a cliche. Okay. Angel C. Angel, very good. So let's try another question. Another question is over here. This is very important. This type of question is very important because it is a confusing in nature. This question is a little bit confusing in nature. So the sale of a shopkeeper first increases by 10% and then decreases by 10%. What is the percentage change in the sale of that shopkeeper? No change, 1% down, 1% up, none of this. Assume. I will give you a formula. Definitely, I will be giving you a formula for finding effective percentage, but we can go for the conventional way of assuming things. Assume you bought a thing for 100 rupees. Okay. And you thought that the market is in demand of that object. Okay. like a pen. You bought a pen. So you just started to solve this pen for 110 rupees. That means you take a profit or you increase the price by 10%. So 10% of 100 is 10. So 110, that is 100 plus 10, that is 110. Okay. Unfortunately, no one buys the pen. Okay. Unfortunately, no one buys the pen. So on the 110, you just put a discount like 10% off. Okay. So now the price is reduced by 10%. What is 10%? 10% of 110, that is 11. So 110 minus 11, that is 99 rupees. So what is the percentage change in the sale of that shopkeeper? What will be the percentage change? Take the difference. Okay, it was 100 rupees and now it is selling for 99 rupees. That means a 1 rupee loss. Okay, so 1 by 100 into 100. So loss means down. Okay, so 1 by 100 into 100, that is 1%. So 1% loss, that is 1% down. Angel, good. So in this way, we can solve question. And another equation for effective percentage. Another equation, it will be helping you in many places. Effective percentage. Okay, effective percentage, it is like this. Say the two percentages are A and B, then it will be like A plus B by A plus B plus AB by 100. So now take to this question. So increase positive and decrease negative. So first of all, it is increased by 10%. So it is positive. Then it is decreased by 10%. Now it is negative. So one among them will be minus. So the first thing is plus. And the second one is minus by 100. So it will be like 10 minus 10, 0. And 10 into minus 10, that's minus 100 by 100. So that is minus 1. So minus 1 means 1% down. Two ways for solving this question. And I prefer this equation to be remembered because it is very much important in many of the area. Many of mathematics topics is having this particular thing as a important formula. So now try the other questions from the next chapter. So that's percentage. So these kinds of questions you can expect from percentage. And now we will be looking into some sort of questions from profit, loss, and discount. So I'm just going to simply represent the entire chapter in a single page, or the concept of that chapter in a single page. I'm going to represent. So assume you are having a supermarket. Okay, in that way you can think. You are having a supermarket and you are going to buy a pen to your supermarket. Okay, you're going to buy a pen to your supermarket by giving 100 rupees. Okay, so this is called the cost price of the pen. This is called the cost price of the pen. So you need to get a profit, isn't it? You need to get a profit. So you will be increasing the price of the pen by 20%. Okay, and you are going to sell this pen at a selling price. So selling price at a profited way. So it is over here like 120 rupees. This is the selling price. But now the customers want discount. Okay, so we have a technique for that. So we will be putting a marked price of 150 rupees. So MB stand for marked price. D will put a marked price. Okay, and we will tell all of them that we are going to sell this on a reduced price. The discount, how much percentage? Okay, if a thing at costing rupees 130, if you are selling it for 120, nobody will not buy. Okay, but if you are making a market price 150 and selling it like 20% off, many of them come for the what? Discount. So here this is the profit. Here the discount is another 20% discount. Okay, So that will be equal to discount means discount percentage into marked price. So here the discount percentage is 20%, marked price is 150. So now the discount is like 30 rupees. Okay, now the discount is 30 rupees. So selling price will be marked price minus discount. Keep it in mind. Selling price equal to marked price minus discount. Similarly, one more equation for selling price over here. Okay, so this is the selling price in this direction. Why don't we look into a selling price in this direction? So here the selling price is like cost price plus profit. Okay, what is the profit here? Profit equal to profit percentage into cost price. So profit over here, it was 20% and cost price was 100. So the profit is 20. So that is why the selling price is like cost price plus profit, that is 100 plus 20, 120. So this is the ideal case, but it will not happen in every time. In certain situations, we will not be getting a profit like this. We will encounter a loss. Okay, we will encounter a loss. Assume it is another 20% or go for 10%. So we encountered a loss of 10%. Okay, always drawing this diagram while solving questions will be giving you a holistic understanding of this chapter. So 10%. So what will be the 10%? Loss. That is loss percentage into cost price. Okay. So over here, loss equal to loss percentage is 10% into cost price, that is 100. So here the loss of 10 rupees. That means we are going to sell the pen for 90 rupees. This is another selling price with the loss. That is why I use red color. Okay. So you can take it like this is the selling price with the profit. Another selling price with the loss is here. Okay. So selling price is equal to cost price minus loss. Okay. So selling price equal to cost price minus loss. Another equation for selling price. So you can take a screenshot. I just tried my level best to represent the holistic idea of that chapter in a single page over here. Okay, this is the concept. This is the essence of this chapter. Based on this chapter is progressing. Okay, so in between we'll be finding some other equations also. At that time we can discuss them. Now we will be focusing on some questions. Anuj buys a cricket bat for 500 and sells it for 650. Calculate the profit. Q. I don't find it is difficult. I want all of you to put the response in the chat. Anuj buys a cricket bat for 500 and sells it for 650. Who calculate the profit? I want all of you to calculate. Okay. So those who haven't subscribed can subscribe our channel if you like our videos, and you can share it with your friends, and you can like the videos. So these are the things which is encouraging us to create more content like this. So over here, the answer is ready. This is selling price. This is cost price. Difference between them, that is 150. Option A. Let's try another question. A cooler is bought for rupees 5,000 and sold at a profit of 25%. Find its selling price. This is why we learned the chapter. This is why we learned the chapter percentage. Asha. What about others? Okay, Q. This is why we learned that chapter percentage. So over here, a cooler is bought for rupees 500. Okay, a cooler is being bought for rupees 500. Fine. Now, Angel, fine. Now it is going to solve. So 500 plus 25%, because this is cost price plus profit percentage to cost price, that is equal to selling price. So 5,000 plus 25% of 5,000, that is equal to selling price. Actually, this is 1/4 of 5,000. Half of 5,000, that is 2,500. Half of that 1,250 plus 5,000, that is 6,250. Option A. And it is Asha and Angel right here. Very good, both of you. Next question. It's a wonderful question. I think you have a diagrammatic. Rajesh, fine. Okay. Why Rajesh late today? So over here, a man sold an article at a loss of 20%. If he sells the article for 12 more, he would have gained 10%. Okay. So this is a tricky question. If we use the help of that diagram, definitely you can solve it. Actually, the quicker way of solving this question is like this. The quicker way, 10%, 20%, 30%. 30% equal to 12. Okay. 10% equal to 4. 100% equal to 40. This is a quicker way of solving this question. But we are not at a level of solving it in a quicker manner. So we will learn how to solve it in a quicker manner after a few seconds. Okay. So we will come to that shortcut of this question. So looking into this question, see, we have a cost price. So we have a cost price. This is 100% of cost price. Okay. Or let our cost price be X. So let our cost price be X. That is 100% of X is the cost price. So now what we are going to do? We are going to solve an article as a loss of 20%. That means a loss. We are going to solve it for a loss. Loss of how much? 20%. That means our selling price now is 80% of X. That is 100% minus 20% of X. That is 80% of X is our selling price. Okay. 80% of X will be our selling price. Okay. But if he sells the article for 12 more rupees, okay, 12 more rupees, that is, if he is selling it for 12 more rupees, then they will be getting a profit of 10%. Okay, they will be getting a profit of 10% profit. That is, the selling price becomes 110% of X. Okay, this is not the answer. This is actually the question. Okay, so I had make a diagrammatic representation of the question. This will be giving you a more holistic view over the question. So now you can write like 80% of X plus 12 equals 110% of X. Hi, Angel, fine. Okay, so 12 equals 110% of X minus 80% of X. That is 30% of X equals 12. Now convert what is 100% of X. Okay, so for that you can do it like this way also, 12 by 30 by 100 into X. That is 12 into 100 by 30. 0, 0 cancel. 4, 40. Over. Very good. Okay. So 40. In this way you can solve. Or simply take it like this. 12 equal to 30% of X. So then divide it through with the 10. Sorry, divide it through with the 3. So that 10% of X, that is equal to 4. This is why I mentioned earlier. So go for 100% of X. Multiplying with the 10 is enough. 40. In this way also you can find 100% of X. And a question of this format is quickly solvable. add the percentages given, 10% plus 20%. If the question is in this exact format, just add and take this difference, 12. So that is 30% of x equal to 12. You will be directly getting, not this. Okay, not this type of question. So Angel and Afra, very good. So let's try another question. Option B, 40 was the right answer. So the market price of an article, MP is given. So 500. If it is sold for 400, find the rate of discount. You can find the discount. Okay, so now you guys can solve. Q. What is the discount here? That is 500 minus 400. That is 100 rupees. Discount percentage. So discount percentage is like discount by marked price into 100. So what is the discount here? 100 rupees. What is the marked price here? 400 rupees. Sorry, marked price is 500 rupees. So discount percentage into 100. 0, 20. So 20% discount. Angel is right. What about others? 20% is the right answer. So let's try another question. So here you can use the equation of effective percentage. Okay, effective. Asha, good. For the previous question, fine. So effective percentage, that is equal to A plus B plus AB by 100. Use the negative for decrease. Use the negative symbols for decrease. So we had already discussed this equation in the chapter of percentage. Okay, in the chapter of percentage, we had already discussed this topic. So Abhay sells a motorbike to Subhash at a profit of 15% and Subhash sells it to Dinesh at a loss. This is negative, this is positive. So this is A, you can take it like plus 15, and B, you can take like minus 5. So it will be like 15 minus 5 and plus 15 into minus 5 by 100. So it is 15 minus 5, that is 10, plus 15 into minus 5 minus 75 by 100. That is 10 minus 0.75. That is 9.25. Angel, good. So option A, 9.25 is the effective percentage over here in this question. Okay, why don't we try another question? This is a special case, okay. So I'll be getting you the equation first. If cost price of X articles is equal to selling price of Y articles, then profit or loss, you can use the equation like difference X minus Y divided by Y into 100. So this is the profit percentage. Okay, if it is the case of loss, then it will be like Y minus X divided by Y into 100. If it is a loss, that means a negative symbol is coming. You can use this for profit as well as loss. Okay, you can use this for profit as well as loss. When it is a loss, then negative symbol will be coming, nothing else. Nothing is going to be different here. Now it is your turn, guys. Go ahead. Cost price of 24 apples is equal to the selling price of 18 apples. Find the profit percent. Find the profit percent. Just simply substitute the values of X and Y. Everything. Asha. Angel, good. Okay, over here, this is 24 minus 18 divided by another 18 into 100. 6 by 18 into 100. 1 by 3 into 100. Familiar? 1 by 3 into 100. That is 33 and 1 by 3. Very good. Very good. So Arsha, Angel and Arsha. Good. So consecutive equivalent discount. Okay. So equivalent discount. We have a formula. We will discuss how to solve equivalent discount. You can put the responses in the chat. Anyway, I'll be giving you an example situation. So Amazon or Flipkart, I think some sales are still progressing. Assume it's Flipkart and it is big billion days are going. So you will be having a flat discount of 20%. Okay. So I'm going to buy a pen for 100 rupees. This is the marked price. Okay, my pen. So if I'm buying it in a big billion day, I'll be getting it 20% discount. So after discount, that is 20% into 100, that is 20 rupees. I'm going to get this pen for 100 minus 20, that is 80 rupees. Okay, but they just mentioned that if I have a credit card of ABC Bank, okay, if I have a credit card of ABC Bank, then they are ready to give an additional 10%. So now I am going to get 30%. Okay, that means I only need to pay 70 rupees, isn't it? So I just take 70 rupees and I am ready to go for the payment. And the payment page arrived and it is mentioned that pay 72 rupees. For what purpose the 2 rupees? Okay, for what purpose the 2 rupees? Okay, if as a max teacher, if I think about or if I think like that, then I need to stop my job. Okay, or I should quit if I start to think like that, because this is consecutive discount, because that discount is added on this 80 rupees. That means 10% is the discount I am expecting. 10% on 80 I am getting, that is 8. That is why 80 minus 8, I am getting it for 72. So the effective discount was only 28 rupees. That is 28 by 100 into 100. That is 28% was my effective discount. Okay. This is the story of effective discount. And we have a formula for effective or equivalent discount. The formula: discount equivalent is equal to two rates, R1, R2, minus R1, R2 by 100. This is the formula for equivalent discount. And you can come in the reverse way also. Your comfortability. I'm not going to inject any methods. Your comfortability is the key. Which method you prefer, you can choose that. Okay, it's all based on your preferences. So here, 10 plus, that is R1, 15, R2 minus 10 into 15 by 100. Okay, so that is 25 minus 150 by 100. 25 minus 1.5. 23.5. Option B. Okay, 23.5%. So these are the type of questions you can expect from discount and profit. Okay, so we just had a quick sprint over that topic. Now we will be looking into the chapter average. So average. So in the minimum time, we need to discuss as much as topics possible. So average. Average is, as a formula, you can use this: sum of observations. That means sum of numbers. Okay. Sum of observations by number of observations, or sum of numbers by number of numbers. That's it. Okay, sum of numbers by number of numbers. That's it. So coming over to here, average, you can write like an equation if you want. Then the observations, if it is x1 plus x2 plus etc. up to xn observations are there, then n1 plus n2 plus etc. up to nn numbers. Sorry. So x1 plus x2 plus etc. up to xn observations are there. Then number of observations will be n. This is the formula. Okay, number of observations is n. So coming over to here, you can rewrite it average into number of observations equal to sum of observations. This is widely used. This is widely used in questions. Okay, you can take a screenshot and keep it near you, or you can write it and keep it near you. So let's try some questions. So average of first 9 prime numbers, very important. Two things are checking here. First one is your knowledge about prime numbers. Second one, your knowledge about average. Both are tested here. Okay, so first 9 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and how much it is? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 23. Now take the sum and divide with the number 9. Many of you have a doubt that is 2a prime, is 3a prime. Many of you have a doubt. Okay, so just solve it here. 2 is prime, 3 is prime, and smallest prime, and only even prime is 2. Okay, this is 100 by 9. 100 by 9 means 11 and 1 by 9. That's it. 11 and 1 by 9. Why don't we try another question? This is about weighted average. Okay, this is about weighted average. You can solve this question. I will be giving you the equation for that here. Weighted average. Okay, average of n1 observations. Average of n1 observations is x1. Okay, and that of n2 observations is x2. Then that of n1 plus n2 observations is, then the average of entire n1 plus n2 observations is n1 x1 plus n2 x2 divided by n1 plus n2. This is the equation of weighted average. This is usually used for getting marks, average marks of students. The average marks obtained in an examination, say it is a maths exam, happened in a class of bioscience. 8 students attended that exam. In another class of computer science, 9 students attended that exam. So what will be their combined average? For that, we will be using this equation. Okay, so consider this n1 students and their average is x1. And this is n2 students and their average is x2. Then what will be the average of n1 plus n2 students? This is the question and this is the format. Okay, now we can directly solve this. 8 into 51 plus 9 into 68 divided by 8 plus 7. So that is 8 into 51 plus 9 into 68 divided by 17. This is my fault. 8 plus 9. So you can split it. Okay, this is how to solve this. You can split it by 17 plus 9 into 68 by 17. Cut it. 71 into 3. Sorry, 17 into 3. 17 into 4. So over here, 8 into 3, 24, plus 9 into 4, 36. Answer is 60. And Angel given it right. Very good. 60 is the right answer. And this is the case of weighted average. Okay. If N1 students will be having an average mark of X1 and N2 students is having an average mark of X2, then the combined average of the class is solved through this equation. Sorry. Let's try another average question. So let me rewrite. So average of m numbers is n square and that of n numbers is m square. Apply the same formula, weighted average. Okay, average of m numbers is n square and that of n numbers is m square. Then the average of m plus n numbers is. Apply the formula blindly, directly, you will be getting the answers. Okay, the formula was there. Average of n1 observations is x1, then the sum is n1 x1. And the average of n2 observations is x2, then the average is n2 x2 divided by n1 plus n2. This is average. Okay, now we can solve. Average of m observations is n square and that of n observations is m square divided by m plus n. Okay, that is equal to, you can take an m1 as common, m and n common. So in the first session, you will be getting an n. In the second session, you are getting an m divided by m plus n. N plus m and m plus n are same. Okay, n plus m and m plus n are same. Cancel it. Just take it like mn. So let me see who is Angel. Good, good, good. Okay, mn is the right answer. Why don't we try another question? So average of 6 numbers is a very important type. Okay, this is a very important type. So it is having a specific format to solve that. So we will be discussing that format in detail. So the average of 6 numbers is 30. In the very next moment, in your mind should be find that sum of 6 numbers will be 180. Okay, the sum should be come in your mind. Okay, so the sum should be coming in your mind. So over here, if the average of the first 4 is 25 and of that last 3 is 35, then the fourth number is what? Okay, then the fourth number is what? That is the question. So I don't know the number. Okay, what I will do? I will take some reference. N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, N6. These are my 6 numbers. So what is the question? Sum of average of 6 numbers. From that, you can easily find the sum of 6 numbers. Okay, sum of 6 numbers. Just go for the sum like this. Add it, add it, add it, add it. Because you know that average of these 6 numbers is 30. Average of these 6 numbers is 30. So it is like, here the average is 30. That is, sum is 6 into 30. I told you earlier. Average equal to sum by number. So sum is equal to average into number. So I got the sum. I got the sum. Hi, Angel, fine. I'll look into your answer. So I want all of you to put your responses in the chat. So those who haven't subscribed our channel yet, they can subscribe it. So because we are coming up with similar contents in the future. So here it is given that average of the first 4 is 25. That means sum of first 4 is 25 into 400. Next, average of the last 3. Average of the last 3, that is N4 plus N5 plus N6. I shouldn't read like that. It should read like this. N6 plus N5 plus N4. That is 3 into 35. It is 105. Okay. It is simply 105. 100 here, 105 here, and we have a 180 here. How will you make use of these numbers? Okay. Now, you can write like N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4. We have a value. What is the value? 100. Plus another N4 plus N5 plus N6. We have a value 105. So the entire sum will be 205. How it is? 100 plus 105. That is 205. Okay. Because we have two N4s. So I'll be taking one N4 out here. So one N4 I'm writing here. Plus the remaining I'm going to write it together. Okay. I just take this N4 out and I'm going to write the remaining together. N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 plus N5 plus N6 equal to 205. Are you familiar with this? N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 plus N5 plus N6. That is 180. So we have N4 plus 180 equals 205. Now the things are clear. N4, as like Angel commented, 205 minus 180. 25. Option A, 25 is the right answer. Okay. Option A, 25 is the right answer, and Angel is right over here. So let's try another question regarding sum. Use the sum average formula. Sum and average formula directly use. These are simple questions, and you can expect similar questions from average. Okay. So if you want the annotated copies of this PDF, you can feel free to contact the number provided in the chat. Okay, they will be availing you the PDF in a 24-hour. They will be taking. Okay, because today I think this session will be over by the end of our office times. So by tomorrow in the office hours, you will be receiving it. You can pre-book it. Okay, right now you can put the message and request them. So by tomorrow morning itself, by the first priority, they will be giving it to you. Okay. So average weight of 8 children of a family is 12 kilogram. Okay, fine. Average weight of 8 children of a family is 12 kilogram. Okay, fine. So sum of weight. First of all, we can find the sum of weight. So sum of weight will be equal to 12 into 8. That is 96. Now we are taking that sum in this way, like 12 plus 8 plus 14 plus 11 plus 9 plus 13 plus 15, 20, 34, 45, 54, 54, 67, 82 plus x equal to 96. Because this is the weight of the 8th one. So where we stopped? Oh, 82 plus x equal to 96. So what is the value of x? Angel, good. X equal to 96 minus 82. That is 40. Option B, 14 is the right answer. Fine. So why don't we try another question? Okay. Why don't we try another question? Okay, this question, I will not comment. It is an easy one, but you can make it easy. Okay, you can make that question easy by understanding the procedure or method. This is also done through the method of sum. Okay, this is also done through the method of sum. How will we use sum over here? That is the question. So the average salary per head of all workers of an institution is 60. So let the number of workers be X. On this, we are going to solve. Okay, let the number of workers be X. So the average salary per head of all workers of an institution is 60. That is sum of, or you can take like total salary. That's better word. Total salary of that 60 workers will be equal to 60 workers will be equal to obviously 60x, that is equal to salary of 12 officers, isn't it? Plus salary of rest. If you find this, the answer is ready. So total salary of 60 workers, that is average is X. So it will be like 60x equal to salary of 12 officers, 12 into 400, plus salary of rest, that is X minus 12, into their average, that is 56. Okay. If you solve for this, answer is ready. The value of X is the total number of workers. So over here, 60x equals 12 into 400 minus 56x minus, sorry, plus 56x minus 12 into 56. Okay, so you can take this 56x to the left. So it is 60x minus 56x. Okay, don't try to multiply. Just keep it like that. 12 into 400 minus 12 into 56. So 60x minus 56x, 4x. 4x equal to 12 into 400 minus 56. Okay, so 12 into 400 minus 56. So let me reduce the size because I need few more. Okay, I think I can write it here. So over here, you can throughout divide with 4. So x will be equal to 3 into 400 minus 56. So 400 minus 56 into 3 is the answer. So that is 344. So 344 into 3. 344 into 3, that is 1032. Option B. Okay. So right answer is 1032. I think it's clear. 332 is the right answer. Sorry, 1032 is the right answer. Okay. So let's try another question. The mean weight of 34 students of a school is 42 kilograms. The mean weight. Now you guys can read and solve this question. So over here, the mean weight of 34 students of a school. There you can use a, like this format you can follow. So the mean weight of 34 students. So weight of students plus weight of teacher equal to total weight. Okay, what is the weight of students here? Number of students, that is 34 into 42. This is the weight of students plus weight of teacher is unknown. So weight of teacher, we will be writing like this, equal to total weight. What is the total weight? The total weight has been increased by, that means average has been increased by 400 grams. That is, now the new average is 42.4 kg into total number. Now it is 35 because 34 students plus 1 teacher, that is equal to 35. That is why new number. So total weight will be like 35 into 42.4. So weight of teacher will be like 42.4 into 35 minus 34 into 42 or 42 into 34. Do same. So I'm going to split this. This is how we are solving problems. Okay, because we need to gain speed. So we will split 42.4 like this. 42 plus 0.4. Angel, I will look into your answer. Into 35 minus This is this is just 42. 42 into 34. So it will be like 42 into 35 plus 0.4 into 35 minus 42 into 34. Why don't you take a 42 common? 42 into this 35. From here, you can take a 34 minus 34 plus 0.4 into 35. Okay, that is 42. This is 1. 42 into 1, simply 1. So 0.4 into 35, that is 14. That is equal to 56. Now let's discuss the shortcut. Shortcut is old weight. Okay, new weight of teacher, that is equal to old average weight plus difference into new total number. This is the shortcut of questions of this format, because weight of teacher, that is WT, weight of teacher. So old average is 42, difference is 0.4 into new number, that is 35. It is 56. This is the shortcut, but if you can, it is difficult for you to remember everything, you can use this. Okay, you can use this. Why don't we move to the next question? So now you can score, you can now solve this question about Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, maybe you guys are aware who is Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. So Sachin Tendulkar has a certain average for 11 innings. So we don't know that average. Let it be X. Let it be X. So his total runs from 11 innings was 11x. Innings is like how many times he comes to play in the ground. Okay, how many times he has come to play in the ground, that is considering innings here. Okay, in actual cricket, how many times he went out, that is innings. Sorry, so based on that, average is calculating how many times he is gone out, but here it is done on the base of the 11 innings, assuming that he is getting out. Okay, so over here, Sachin Tendulkar has a certain average for 11 innings. So his total runs, he will be 11x. And in the 12th innings, he scored 120 runs, thereby increasing his average by 5 runs. That means his new average become x plus 5. The question is to find what is x plus 5, not at all x. Okay, the question is find what is x plus 5. So runs from 11 innings plus runs from 11 innings plus runs from 12th innings equal to runs from 12 innings. This is the idea you should need to have in the solving this question. Now we can substitute runs from 11 innings. We don't know. It is 11 into x because average is x and number of observation is 11. Plus runs from 12th innings. 120 given in the question. Runs from 12 innings. We don't know. We only have 12 innings and we know that the new average, that is including the 12th innings, we have a new average that is x plus 5. Solve it. 120 minus 120 equal to, I am taking this to other side, 12x plus 12 into 5 minus 11x, because I had taken this to the other side. So that is x plus 60 equal to 120. Now you can take x equal to 120 minus 60. We got the value 60. Sachin is having an average of 60, but his new average is asked. That is x plus 5. That is 60 plus 5. It is 65. Answer is ready. Okay. Hi, Angel. Good. So let's try the next question. and we will be discussing another topic, that is, one second. Simple interest and compound interest we can discuss. Simple interest and compound interest. That is what we are going to discuss next. So we have 40 minutes left. And after that, Nishita ma'am will be joining with the ARC awareness. So now over here, let's start. Simple interest and compound interest, and as like like what, profit and loss chapter, I'm going to summarize this chapter in a single page. Okay, so if you are good at this page, you can solve questions, use your common sense. Okay, in this page we are going to generate common sense. This is common sense generating page. Okay, hope you got the idea. So let's start. Interest. Interest is the amount paid to those who lending money or those who are depositing money. So in a bank, assuming that we are depositing 100 rupees in a bank, okay, the bank will do the business on that money and they will return not only 100, along with that, as a token of gratitude, they will be returned some money extra. That money is interest. Okay, so interest is provided in two ways. One is simple interest and other is compound interest. Power of compounding is something terrific. Okay, and I like compound interest very well. But while I was a student, I was very much like, it is for me, it's like something which I hate a lot. But now I love it very much because now I am earning. At that time, I'm using this to write answers. Now this time I'm using it to improve the money which or increase the money which I have. So now I like compounding interest. And at that time I like simple interest very much. But now I'm not interested to put my money in simple interest because I want the power of compounding. Okay, so that is how the persons will be changing over a period of time. So over here, now comes to simple interest. Okay. So simple interest, we need to have a example. Okay, so 10 percentage rate of interest means how much percentage of interest should be paid in a year. Assume it is 10 percentage. Okay, so amount, that means the amount should be paid after a period of time. Amount will be like principal plus interest. Principal is the money which we invest, or that's the money we will deposit. So in case of simple interest, amount, that is the money should be returned, will be like principal plus simple interest. Okay, amount that should be returned will be like principal plus simple interest. Okay, in compound interest, the amount will be simply like principal plus compound interest. And in simple interest, principal remains same throughout the transaction. But here, principal is different. Principal will be previous years amount. So here the principle will change. Okay, we'll be discussing it in detail. So I'm just giving some sort of intro. Okay, assume you are investing 100 rupees. So your principal is 100 rupees. Okay, your principal is 100 rupees in both the cases. So now we will be doing simple interest completely. So coming to simple interest, first year, The principal is 100. So the amount which we will get after first year, the principal will be 100. Simple interest. Simple interest is 10% of 100. That is 10 rupees. So that 10 rupees will be added. So at the end of the first year, I will be getting 110 rupees at return for the second year. Second year, my principal will be same. That is 100. And I will be getting an additional 10 rupees as interest. Okay. Every year, my interest will be same. So now I will be getting 120 after second year. Third year, my principal is same here, 100. But I am getting another increase in these two I got last year. Another increase, another 10. So 130. So my 100 rupees turned 130 in 3 years. Where? In simple interest. Or you can use an equation. Simple interest like P/R/T by 100. R stands for rate. So over here, the principal is 100. Rate is 10%. Okay. Time, that is 3 years by 100. Yes, I got the simple interest 30 because I got 30 rupees. That 30 you can find here. So if you want, you can note down this equation. Simple interest equal to P/R/T by 100. So this is simple interest. I think now it is clear what is simple interest. Now the case of compound interest. Be ready to learn it. Okay, because some sort of complexities are there in compound interest. Okay, some sort of complexities, not everything. So let's come to the first year. I'll be taking it like this color. So first year. So first year, amount will be like principal, that is 100, and interest, that is 10% of 100. Okay, this is principal. This is 10% of principal. Okay, that is the compound interest. So principal plus compound interest. So it will be like 100 plus 10, 110. Oh, nothing different. Nothing different. Okay, for a year, nothing is different. But second year, what I mentioned earlier, I told you that principal will not change. But here, the principal will change by previous year's amount. So now the amount, the new principal will be 110. So the amount will be 110 plus 10% of 110. That is the compound interest for this year. So it will be like 10% of 110. That is 110 plus 11. So it is 121. By the end of second year, I'm getting 121 rupees. That means earlier it is 120 only. Now I'm getting 1 rupee more. Now comes to third year, everything is going to change. Okay, amount. Now the principal is changed. Now it is 121. So it is 121 plus 10% of 121. That is 121 plus 12.1. That is 133.1. So there is a change of 3.1 rupees. Okay, assume if it is in crores, then the change is like 3 or 300 crore. Okay, so if the amount is deposited in crores, then the change will be that much. Okay, the change will be that much. So you can copy this or you can take a screenshot. After this, we will be discussing some questions from this chapter. Okay. So just solve this. What will be the simple interest on rupees 200 for 5 years at 6% per annum? At 6% per annum. I will be waiting for your responses. Just put it in the chat as quick as possible. Go ahead. I'm waiting for your responses. Okay, done. So for more Nata arithmetic topics, you can refer to Nata Sprint 1. In Nata Sprint 1, I had discussed 4 to 5 topics like speed, distance, time. Okay. So in the first Nata Sprint, you can find it in the playlist. I had discussed speed, distance, time there, work time there, pipes and cistern, train related problems, bot and streams, those things were discussed. And work time, minimum 2-3 questions has been asked in many sessions. One of my students got 4 questions from work time. So that is an important chapter. You can refer to Nata Sprint 1 and it is starting with arithmetics. Okay, so you can refer that session. And for non-verbal lessons, you can refer to Nata Sprint 2 and Nata Sprint 3 for non-verbal lessons. Okay. So why don't we solve this question? So what will be the simple interest on rupees 200 for 5 years? Simple interest, we have a formula. Angel, fine. PRT by 100. So 200 rate is 6%, 5 years by 100. Cancel it. 30, 60. Over. Okay, this is how to solve the question. So let's try another one. Oh, in what time will 1860 amount to 2641.20 at simple interest of 12% per annum? Okay, now you guys can solve this question. I will be waiting for responses in the chat. Q. Amount will be principal plus simple interest. Amount will be, in what time will 1860 amount to 2641 plus, sorry, 2641.20. We know the principal 1860. What is the equation for simple interest? PRT by 100. So it will be like 1860 rate to 12. Sorry, we don't know the time. Multiply with the time t by 100. Okay. Now, if you solve this equation, then you will be getting the answer. So I had given you the equation. Now you guys can try along with me. So take the difference 2641.20 with I will be writing the steps 2641.20 minus 1860 equals 1860 into 12 by 100. Okay. So it will be like 781.20, 781.20 equals 1860 into 12 by 100. Now multiply with 100. 781.20 becomes 78120. I just multiplied with 100 divided by 1860 into 12. Just look for the relation if there is any. Okay, 78120. So 78120. Can you cut it? So if you cut over here, you will be getting a 42. Okay, you will be getting a 42. So 42 by 12. What is 42 by 12? That is a 36. 42 by 12, you can write like 36 by 12 plus 6 by 12. Okay, 36 by 12 plus 6 by 12, that is 42 by 12. So it will be like 3 and 1 by 2 because 6 by 12 is 1 by 2. Option B is the right answer. Okay, option B. So, Angel, very good. Let's try another question. Why don't we try it from the compound interest? Go ahead. At what rate percent per annum will 2304 amount to 2,500 in 2 years at compound interest? Okay, at compound interest. That is a question. At what rate percent per annum will, we have a formula. Let's try our formula. That is, you can solve this along with me. Amount will be equal to principal plus compound interest. Okay, so compound interest is actually having a formula, or amount. Actually, amount is having a formula. So that is P into 1 plus RT. You can note this equation by 100, the whole raised to n. N is number of years. Okay, P is the principal, R is the rate, T is the time. So this is the equation for amount. Okay, this is the equation for amount. So you can use that equation here. Amount equal to, what is the principal? 2304. So the amount will become 2,500. Actually, I'm substituting the values in this equation. 2,300, 304 into 1 plus, I don't know what is the rate here, because I need to find it. Okay. So rate, I know the time. Okay, wait. So amount will be equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to n. Okay, PRT is in the previous chapter. So here the time is using the equation n. So R by 100 the whole raised to n. So we know the value of n. N is 2. Okay, n is 2. So you can just take a fresh screenshot. You can change the equation. So over here, just bring it down. 2,500 by 2304 equal to 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to 2. So you can write it like 50 by 48, the whole square. Or this is 50 square, this is 48 square. It is equal to 1 plus R by 100, the whole square. So 50 by 48, the whole square, that is equal to 1 plus R by 100, the whole square. Okay, now you can remove the squares. 50 by 48, even you can write it like, cancel it. 25 by 24. Okay. So 25 by 24. So 25 by 24, you can take this 1 minus 1 equal to R by 100. That is 25 minus 24 by 24. Take this 100 to here, into 100 equal to rate. 1 by 24 into 100 equal to the rate. So if you solve this, you will be getting the rate. So let's try. So 100 by 24. How will you split 100 by 24? Or 100 divided by 24. What will be the quotient and remainder? So you can do it like 96 by 24 plus 4 by 24. This is how I split 100. Okay. So 24, 48, 96. So this is 4 and this is 1 by 6. So 4 and 1 by 6 equal to the rate. Okay. So the rate is 4 and 1 by 6. Option C. We can find it in option C. 4 and 1 by 6%. Okay. So compound interest questions are complex and they are a little bit compound. Okay. Complex to compound. So let's try another question. So a sum becomes 2 times in 5 years at a certain rate of interest. Find the time in which the same amount will be 8 times at the same rate of interest. Now you guys can solve this question and I will get you the shortcut for solving this question. So if sum becomes 2 times, so n1 by n2 equals, so a sum becomes t1 by t2. Okay. Or you can write like this also. 2 ways you can write. T1 by T2 equals N1 minus 1 by N2 minus 1. But I usually write it like simply write T1 by T2. Just for remembering this, I'll be writing like N1 by N2. Then I will be giving a minus 1. Okay, this is how I remember this. Okay, so what is the demand of the question? T2 will be the demand of the question. So T2 equals T1 into N2 minus 1 divided by N1 minus 1. So a sum becomes 2 times in 5 years. So 5 years, 2 times. Okay. Then at what time? Sorry. Then at what time it becomes 8 times? That is a question. We need to find T2. So just simply substitute 5 into 8 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. So that is 5 into 7. 35. Yes, option A. So similarly, this is the case of simple interest. Similarly, there is a case for compound interest. Similarly, there is a case for compound interest is there. Why don't we try that? So find the compound interest on rupees 2000 at 15 percentage. Not this one. I think this is the one which I was mentioning. If a certain sum at compound interest become double in 5 years, then in how many years it will be 8 times at the same rate of interest? Go ahead. And I will be writing the equation over here. So a certain, if a certain sum at a compound interest becomes double, that means x times in n1 years and y times in n2 years. Okay. X times in n1 years and y times in n2 years. So you can use this equation to solve questions like this. So if a money becomes x times in n1 years, then x raised to 1 by n1 will be equal to y raised to 1 by n2. So how we will use this equation in this question? Okay, so if a certain sum at compound interest becomes double, that is 2 times in 5 years, and it becomes 8 times in 2 years. Okay, we don't know the rate year. So it will be like 2 raised to 1 by 5. Keep it like that, 2 raised to 1 by 5. Make that 8 like 2 raised to 3 raised to 1 by n2. Okay, now you can easily solve for n2 because 2 raised to 1 by 5 will be equal to 2 raised to 3 by n2. So now you can equate 1 by 5 will be equal to 3 by n2. So n2 becomes 3 into 5, 15. Option B. Okay. So you can note these techniques. Okay, nothing else. Just note these techniques. It will help you to solve questions. So let's try. One second. Actually, we are having 15 minutes. in our session. So we will be taking another simple topic. Why don't we look into age-related questions? So we will be looking into age-related problems. So that means the question from ages. So over here, a father, these kinds of questions. A father is twice as old as his son. Okay, 20 years back. This is problems on ages coming in the exams. So 20 years back, he was 12 times as old as his son. So there is a method for solving age-related problems. So father, son. So current ages of son is x and father is 2x. Given father is twice as old as his son. 20 years back, f minus 20. So the son's age also should be reduced by 20. S minus 20 equals 12 times as old as his son. Okay. So I'm just taking the statements from the question and I'm just simply writing the equation. So substitute the values of x. 2x minus 20 by x minus 20 equals 12 by 1. So over here, this is 2x minus 20 equals 12x minus 12 into 20. Keep it like that. Don't go for a multiplication of that. Like we can do it later. So just take the values. So 12 into 20 minus 20 equals 12x minus 2x. So it is 11 into 20 equals 10x. So over here, x equal to 11 into 20 by 10. So you can cancel this. So it will be 22. So this is 22. This is 44. So the question is, what is the present age of? Present age. Okay, it's not percentage. Present age of father, that is 44. So I just do this question as a sample. So we can apply this technique on this question over here. In another question, just a second. So present age of Karan and is 5 times the age of Shivam. Now you can do this. So present age of Karan is 5 times the age of Shivam. After 10 years, Karan will be 3 times as old as Shivam. What are the present ages of Karan and Shivam? That is the question. I'll be waiting in the chats for your responses. So present age of Karan. We don't know the age of Karan. We know the age of Shivam, but the comparison is done with Shivam. Take his age as x. So present age of Karan is 5 times that of Shivam. So 5x x. After 10 years, isn't it? So k plus 10 and s plus 10. So this is the after 10-year case. Karan will be 3 times as old as his Shivam. Okay, so it is 3 by 10. So it will be like k plus 10. Substitute for k. Okay, now you guys can substitute for k. It will be like 5x plus 10 divided by 5x plus 10 divided by x plus 10 equal to 3 by 1. Okay, equal to 3 by 1. So 5x plus 10 will be equals 3x plus 30, and you can bring it here and you can bring it here. So it will be like 5x minus 3x, that will be equal to 30 minus 10. So 2x equals 20, x equal to 10, 10, 50, option B, 50 and 10. Okay, so that's it. We can try another question. So this is your next question. I am 3 times as old as my son. So 15 years hence, I will be twice as old as my son. What is the sum of our present ages? You can try this question. Okay. So I am 3 times as old as my son. 15 years hence, I will be twice. So I am 3 times as old as my son. 15 years hence, I will be twice as old as my son. What is the sum of our present ages? So now we can solve this question. So I take I as father and son. Son will be having x, father will be 3x. Okay, 15 years hence, that means after 15 years. That is father plus 15, son plus 15. So father, that means I will be twice as old as my son. Equation is ready. So it will be like 3x plus 15 divided by x plus 15 equal to 2 by 1. So it is like 3x plus 15 equals 2x plus 30. So over here, x equal to 15. So now we got the value of x. Okay. Now we got the value of x. So now substitute it. So how will you substitute here? X equal to 15. 3x equal to how much? 45. So now you can take the sum. Like 15, 45, sum is 60. Option B. Okay, so this is the format of solving questions from age-related problems. So we can try some miscellaneous questions from the topics which we learned today. Okay, so let's look into some of the questions which we had learned today. So 1 second. So this is our old material. So we will be doing some questions from there. So from the age related problem, we can do a question. So this question is in, you guys can read. The ages of two persons differ by 20 years. Okay. If 5 years ago, the older one be 5 times as old as the younger one, then their present ages are, you can put in the chat. The ages of two persons differ by 20 years. Say it's father son, you can take it like father son. In that way, you can assume. Okay, so their difference, father son, their difference was 20. So the ages of two persons differ by 20 years. If 5 years ago, okay, 5 years ago, the older one be 5 times. That means f minus 5 by s minus 5. Okay, so f minus 5 by s minus 5. The all you can solve. I'll be looking into your answers. I'm not going to solve it completely. I'll wait. Okay. Because I want an active participation from your side also. Angel, for the age-related problems, 60 or 50, 10. Very good. All are correct. So now this question. So 5 years ago, the older one, that means the father, be 5 times as older the young one. 5 by 1. So these are the data provided in the question. Then their present ages, that is what is the value of F and S, that is a question. So you can substitute and solve. Okay, you can easily substitute. Like you can take like father's age will be, you can take like X. Okay, so if father's age is X, then son's age will be X minus 20 will be the age of son. Okay, if father's age is X, then the age of son will be X minus 20. Substitute it here. Okay, let me clear some area for solving this question. Hi, Angel, very good. Actually, I'm solving it in a very slow manner because I want to give some space for you two guys to solve this. Okay, so if I go like Vande Bharat Express, then it may sounds well. Anyhow, those who are having these recordings later, they can do it in 2x or 3x speed. But over here, I think I need to give some space for my students to do. At least few are doing it. So over here, substitute it. X minus 5 divided by X minus 20 minus 5 equals 5 by 1. That is X minus 5. This is X minus 20 minus 5. That is X minus 25. 5 into X minus 25. So X minus 5 equals 5X minus 125. That is, you can take this minus 125 here. So 125 minus 5 will be equals 4x. Now it is easy to find the x. 120 equal to 4x. X equal to 120 by 4. That is simply 30. So 30 is the value of x. So we got the value of x. Any options? 30, 10. Only one option is with father's age x. So 30 and 30 minus 20. If this is 30, then this will be 30 minus 20. That is 10. 30 and 10 are the right answers. And Angel given it right. So I think we can do one more problem. From the chapter, I think we had discussed age-related problems today. After we can do one question from average. So our question 5. Now you can do this. Okay. So in a family, the average age of father and a mother is 35 years. The average age of father, mother, and their only son is 27 years. What is the age of son? You can do this problem. In the meantime, I will make some space for solving the question. So this is a question from average. We learned average today. That is why we are doing some questions from those chapters. So in a family, the average age of father and mother. So we don't know the sum of ages of father and mother, but father plus mother by 2 is 35. So we can find that age of father plus mother equal to 70. Then the average age of father, mother, and their only son is 27. That is father plus mother plus son equal to 27 into 3, 81. Okay. So, Angel, good, very good. So over here, age of son, now you can find because substitute 70 here. Okay, substitute 70 here. So son will be equal to 81 minus 70. That is 11. Option C and Angel is right. Very good. So 11 is the right answer. So over here, we can try another question. You can try question number 4. I'll be looking for your answers. The total marks obtained by a student in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Solve it, solve it. In the meantime, I will be clearing the space. So the total marks obtained by a student in physics plus chemistry plus mathematics together is 120 more than the total marks obtained by a student in physics, chemistry, and mathematics together is 120 more than the marks obtained by him in chemistry. So what is the average marks obtained by him in physics and mathematics together? So this is the question. So you guys can put your responses in the chat. I will wait. So I just rewritten the question. So after me, ARC awareness faculty will be joining soon. So everyone should remain here for that session also. So over here, you can cancel these C's. So physics plus maths will be 120. And their average will be physics plus maths by 2. That is 120 by 2. Okay, so that is 60. Is this the question? So what is the average marks obtained by him in physics and mathematics together? So physics, chemistry, and mathematics together is 120 more than the marks obtained him in chemistry. So that is 120 plus chemistry. Okay, this is how that equation comes. So the right answer for that question was 60, and Angel given it right. Very good, Angel. So that is from average. Another question we will be taking from discount. Profit loss discount, we will be start with profit, I think. So profit loss questions which I had is including some ratio, mixtures, and allegations. So we will be discussing mixtures and allegations in another session. So let's try the discount question. So you can do the question number 5. I'll be looking for your answers. I'm clearing the space for solving this question, so you can put the answers in the chat. Okay. So a dealer marks his goods at 40%, 40% above the cost price, and he sells 60% of the goods at the marked price, giving 10% discount, and the rest by giving 50% discount on the marked price. What is the overall profit or loss percentage? Okay, so a dealer marks his goods at 40% above the cost price. Assume the cost price being 100 rupees. Okay, so he sold it for a marked price of 140 rupees. Okay, so how much units he have? Assume he is having 100 units. Okay, assume he is having 100 units. So he sells 60 units. He sells 60 units. That means 60%. Okay, he sells 60 units at a discount of 10%. Okay, that means giving a discount of 10%. That is 140 minus 10% of 140. That is equal to, he sold it for 126 rupees. Sorry. So he sold it for 126 rupees. So 60 units, that is 140 minus 10% of 140, that is 126 rupees. And the remaining 40 units, he sold for 140 minus 50% of 140, that is 70 rupees. Okay, so actual cost. So what is over here? So what is the overall profit or loss? So total cost price equals 100 rupees into 100 units. That is 10,000 rupees is the total cost price. Okay, total selling price. Total selling price, that is equal to you can multiply it like 126 into 60 plus 70 into 40. Okay, so 126 into 60 plus 70 into 40. So 70 into 40 is easy to find, but 126 into 60, just take for 126 into 6 and give us 0. So it will be like 7560 plus 70 into 40, 2800. So just take the sum. So total selling price is 10,360. So he is getting a profit. The profit is 360 rupees. You can see here, the difference is 360. That is why I write like. So profit percentage equal to profit by cost price into 100. So it will be like 360. You can see here. Actually, he is getting a profit. So two options of loss gone. And you can find it like it will be 3.6. But we will be doing complete max. 10,000 into 100. Cancel zeros. So 36 by 10, 3.6. So profit of 3.6%. Okay, so today we just focus on relevant questions based on the responses from my students. Okay, so based on the other responses which is coming in this week, I'll be creating another video for the other topics in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so I think Nishita ma'am is there to join. So I think I will be leaving. So Nishita ma'am, are you there? You can take my students from, you can take our students from here onwards.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello, students. Welcome to another session of Architecture Awareness at THiNC Institute of Design. As you already know that ever since the um, Nata exams have begun, Nata 2024, we've been conducting regular Nata sprint sessions. And in these Nata sprint sessions, we talk about the latest topics on which questions are coming in Nata exam. We keenly observe all the question papers that are coming in Nata every week this year, and we curate questions for you depending on the topics that are being repeated a lot or the kind of questions that are being asked with every passing week. So this Nata sprint session is also about that. In architecture awareness, we are going to discuss such questions which are being repeated or the type of questions which are being asked in Nata 2024 to just give you an idea of how you can prepare, what kind of questions can come, and what can you expect in Nata 2024 when you're going to write your exam in the upcoming weeks. So before beginning with the session, I'll quickly introduce myself. I think you already know me by now. I've taken so many live sessions with THiNC Institute of Design. I am architect Nishtha Joshi, and I'm an alumnus of SPA Bhopal. I'm a conservation architect who works in the field of heritage monuments, heritage restoration, and conservation of historic buildings. And I also work with UNESCO in their World Heritage Sites segment, where we nominate a lot of historic sites in the World Heritage List. And with all of this, I'm also a faculty of architecture awareness at THiNC Institute of Design. So I'm a regular faculty who teaches architectural awareness and the various topics that come under it in the weekly classes, online classes that go on at THiNC Institute of Design. Let me just quickly share my screen with you so that I can show you what we're going to discuss today. As you already know, this is a Nata sprint session, and you've just had a session on arithmetic aptitude. After this, you'll have another one in drawing. So just like every time that we discuss these various topics in Nata, this is a similar kind of session for you. And I also really appreciate when you leave down comments on the YouTube video. Even now, as this live is going on, I would really appreciate if you can answer the questions that I'm going to show you in the coming slides. And even if you watch this video later, please leave your feedback, comments, or any queries. We will reach out to you through the comments and clear your doubts. So I would also like to tell you about our new online batches that are going on for Nata crash courses. As you already know that the exams are ongoing, the exams have begun, and until July, the exams will be conducted. So if you want to prepare even better for Nata 2024, and if you want to know all the nuances and the details of what kind of questions are coming this year, what is the exam pattern, this crash batch is mandatory for you to join. So without any further ado, please note down these numbers that you can see on your screen and just ping us on them so that we can help you. I will directly come to my first question for the day without wasting any more time. And please take note that we have curated these questions on the basis of the kind of questions that are coming this year. So similar kind of questions can come in your exam as well. The first question reads, Amar Jawan Jyoti, which was conceptualized and constructed after the Indo-Pak War of 1971, is now merged with the flame of. And this is a question that was asked in one of the previous years as well. The options are New Parliament Building, National War Memorial, Wagah Border in Punjab, or Rashtrapati Bhavan. Now you have to tell me the answer in the comment section. I know that you already know this because this is a question that I think has already been discussed in our crash classes. If you are from those classes, then you know this answer. This question was asked in Nata 2021. So this is the image of Amar Jawan Jyoti, as you could see it previously. And yes, the answer is option B, that is National War Memorial. I know that so many of you already know this answer. If you did not comment it, but you were still thinking about it or in your mind, well done. You have answered the first question correctly. Now we'll go to the next one. Okay, so this is a very interesting question. Before talking about this question, I would also like to tell you that famous architects and any material that has been created either on their lives or material created by them is also a very important part of syllabus of NATA. Every year, many questions are asked on the basis of this topic, that is famous architects, master architects, and there are so many of them. There are so many famous architects from India like Raj Rival, Charles Correa, B.V. Doshi, Achyut Kanvinde, etc. And there are so many internationally acclaimed architects as well from different parts of the world. You have people like Oscar Niemeyer, and you have F.L. Wright and Le Corbusier, who has also worked so much in India, and Philip Johnson, Philip Phillips, Zaha Hadid, so many of them. A lot of these architects have also written some books. They've also written their biographies or autobiographies, and many movies, documentaries have been created on their lives. So please go through this topic as well. This is rather a very light topic as compared to, the other more difficult ones. You will enjoy reading about this topic, and about the books, the movies, documentaries that have been created on the lives of these architects. So it will be of great interest to you. This question that I'm going to discuss right now is also related to one such thing. It is about a book that was written by one of these famous architects, and you have to name that architect for me, okay? Which amongst the following author has written the famous book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities? So this book talks about the cities, the urbanism in America. And the options are Charles Correa, Richard Niemeyer, Laurie Baker, and Jane Jacobs. So what do you think is the right answer? Yes, I think you have thought about it very rightly. This is the cover of the book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities. And this book has been written by the author Jane Jacobs. So B. Jane Jacob will be the right answer. Now, this is the third question for today's session. Again, a very famous and Indian architect this time, a very famous Indian architect associated with this project. Before we reach the conclusion of this question, I want you all to comment the name of that famous architect. The Hall of Nations in Pragati Maidan at New Delhi was designed essentially a three-dimensional space with unit of. For your reference, for your better understanding, an image is also given. This is also a question that was asked in one of the previous years in NATA, and the options are a spheroid, a decahedron, an octahedron, or a tetrahedron. Now, which one do you think is the right answer? And also, don't forget to write the name of the architect who has designed this building. So this is the architect, famous Indian architect that I was talking about, Raj Rival, and behind him is his project in Pragati Maidan. This building no longer exists because it was torn down a few years ago, but it is one of the architecture marvels that was created in, developing India. And the right answer is D, a tetrahedron. A tetrahedron has been taken as the basic shape to form this structure. Now, next question. This question comes from a topic that is related to building materials. Now, building materials is that topic which is being repeatedly asked, or repeatedly questions are coming from this particular topic in NATA 2024. So notice and pay attention to this question nicely, and please go back and prepare such questions, because this is a very common topic that we are seeing repeatedly almost in every paper. Questions have been asked from building materials. I'll read it out for you. Which of the following terms is used to indicate the art of building structures in stones? So this question is so very beautifully curated, because this is not just about a building material, which is stone, but it is also about construction techniques. So that is another topic. So this question has both the topics clubbed in it. The options are bond, prefabrication, masonry, and load bearing. Now, which one do you think is the right answer? The art of building structures in stones. I'll give you a clue. The art of building anything, wall or anything else with brick is also known by the same term. Like both the types of construction with either brick or stone are named by the same term. So can you answer it? Yes, the right answer is option C, that is masonry. The construction that is done using stones and brick, both are known with the term masonry. It's brick masonry and stone masonry. So that's one new thing that you learned in this live session. Again, this is a question about building materials. I think this is something that all of you can easily answer. The Padmanabhapuram Palace, a Travancore era palace in Takale, is predominantly built with which material? Your options are laterite stone, sandstone, timber, or marble. I think you can answer this very quickly. The right answer is C, wood. Most of the structure, almost 75 to 80% of the structure has been constructed in wood, which is the main material used for making this palace. Very few parts of the building which required more strength, for example, the foundation or maybe the plinth, have been made with laterite stone, which is a very commonly available stone in this region where this palace is. So the primary material for construction will be wood. Very good. Till now, you are doing very well, and I'm so impressed to know that you know all these answers. Now, this is the next question, a slightly tricky one with the options. Write the full form of CPCB, and the four options are there on your screen. So, Center Polluted Control Board, Central Pollution Control Board, Central Polluted and Control Board, or the Center for Pollution and Climate Board. Which one do you think is the correct answer? I already told you the options can be a bit confusing. Just to test your knowledge, this is the official logo of CPCB. So it is an organization associated with a cleaner and greener environment that you can already understand from this logo. And the right answer is B, Central Pollution Control Board. And I think a lot of you knew this answer correctly. So well done again. Um, these are the numbers. If you miss the numbers in the beginning, please note these numbers down. You can contact us through call or WhatsApp. Just let us know that you want to join our crash batches, because in these crash batches also, we discuss each and every topic related to Nata in great detail. Like right now, you can see I'm giving very short descriptions of everything because of paucity of time. And in this live, I cannot explain everything. So if you want the detailed version of this live session and you want to discuss more about architecture, about Nata, about various topics that are a part of the syllabus, please join this class. And of course, you'll be given many more questions, mock tests, and previous year question papers, and doubt clearing sessions are also held. So it will be very beneficial for you. Okay, let's come to the next question. I will also give you a nice trivia about this particular question after this. The Basilica of Bom Jesus, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is located in which state in India? And there are four options: Daman, Kerala, Goa, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And I think you can answer it very easily. Think about where you can find the maximum number of churches, or like the most famous churches in India. Okay, I know that you already know the answer to this. I'll just show you a quick picture of this basilica, this church. As you can see, it is made with bricks and it is a very famous UNESCO World Heritage Site from India. This brings us to another important topic which is a part of Nata syllabus, that is World Heritage Sites or UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. So every year, many sites are added in the UNESCO's World Heritage List. And in the previous year, in 2023, two new sites have been added from India in the UNESCO World Heritage List. The first one is Hoysala, known as the Great Ensembles of Hoysala, which is a group of three major temples amongst the numerous temples present in this region. So they have chosen the top three ones, like the three best or major ones, and they have nominated it as a World Heritage Site. And the second site, which was added in 23, was Shanti Niketan, the abode of Rabindranath Tagore. And these two have made the list of India reach up to 42, I guess. Now 42 or 43 total sites are there in UNESCO's list. So you can read about all of these sites. So that will also help you in covering the syllabus. Again, this is a very interesting topic and you will really enjoy reading about it. And the correct answer is C, Goa. Goa houses the Basilica of Bom Jesus. Now, I told you that I'm going to tell you a good trivia about it. The first important thing about this church is that it is India's first minor church, minor basilica, to be very precise. India's first minor basilica that was constructed by the Portuguese. That is this church. And if I talk about the style of architecture, we study this topic in great detail in our online classes. This topic is called Styles of Architecture, where I tell you about the different styles, the different eras and evolution of architecture. From the time of early men, from the caves to here, in the present time, in the contemporary style, how did we reach here? So in this story, you know that I talk about many different styles. So if I specifically talk about the style of Basilica of Bom Jesus, it is a great example of Baroque architecture in India. It is considered to be one of the best examples of Baroque architecture and Portuguese colonial architecture in India. So those are two great points about this church. Hope that will be of your interest and you'll read about it. Now, this is the next question for the day. The Vitruvian Man, a very famous concept. I think you all already know about it. A very famous concept, an important concept in architecture especially. So the Vitruvian Man is a drawing made by, and you have four options on your screen. So which one do you think is right? Rembrandt, Raphael, Leo da Vinci, or Picasso? All four are very famous. It can be confusing, but if you know the answer, you can tell me the right thing. This is an original handmade, drawing made by the artist whose concept it was. And the first theory related to this concept was given by a philosopher known as Vitruvian. That is why the name of this is the Vitruvius Man. And this concept was given by Leonardo da Vinci. He was an Italian artist, and he was born on April 15th, 1452. And he was from Florence, a very beautiful town in Italy. He was not just an Italian painter, draftsman, sculptor, and architect, but he was also an engineer of great repute, whose skill and intelligence, perhaps more than that of any other figure of his time, epitomized the Renaissance humanist ideal. So, a lot of parts of Renaissance architecture, another style in architecture, basically, that you could see in the Western world, is greatly influenced by the thoughts and ideas of Da Vinci. Let's come to the next question. This question is related to climatology. And this is a very common topic that is repeated this year. Right from the first exam, that was on 6th April, till now, we have seen that climo is a topic which is being asked again and again. In which of the following Indian state the Garo Ghasi range is located? Options are Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, or Manipur. So you can see the map of India. Excuse me, where this particular state is highlighted. Just look at it. This entire state is filled with hills. So you can see West Garo Hills, North Garo Hills, Southwest Garo Hills, South Garo, Southwest Khasi, East Khasi. All these are all different mountain ranges that constitute this northeastern Indian state known as Meghalaya. So the right answer will be Meghalaya for this one, option B. Okay, again a question related to climatology. Buildings situated in hilly areas, hills, will required to consider which of the following phenomena primarily. I'll explain this question in very simple words to you. If you want to construct any building, any structure in a hilly area, what are the things that you will consider before, designing it or planning it? Because there are so many natural factors that you need to consider, right? So which one of the following options will you consider? Options are tsunami, hail, high tide, landslide, dust storm, and snow. So tell me which you will consider. From the options, you can understand that three of them will be correct, because in every option, three things are named. So as you can see, some of these things are the things that can happen on a hill or a mountain, but some cannot. For example, tsunami. Tsunami occurs in seas and oceans. So definitely A will not be a correct option. That rules out option D completely, because A is mentioned there. B, hail is something that can happen on the hills. It is present in all three, A, B, and C. So all three of them, like one out of these three is the right answer. Then C is high tide. Do you think high tide can happen on a hill? I don't think so. So C will also be ruled out. That cancels option A. Then D, landslide. Yes, that can definitely happen on the hills and mountains. So option C has D. Let me check what F is. No. So yes, both like all three, B, D, and F can happen on the hills or mountains. So option C will be the right option. Okay. Vienna Peace Congress was held during which of the following years? Your options are 1813 to 14, 1814 to 15, 1815 to 16, or 1812 to 1813. Which one do you think is the right answer? Let me know in the comments. This is the declaration with original signatures by the dignitaries of the conference. Right answer is option B, 1814 to 1815. Let me go to the next question. Again, a question that is related to geography, climatology. Both are related fields, and these questions lead up to more questions. In this year's NATA, we are noticing that there are some questions which are coming in series as well. Like the first question will be an introductory question to a topic, and the questions after that, maybe one or two questions after that, are in the series, meaning they are related to the previous question. So please take note of that. Those type of questions can also come. This one reads, which of the following is the longest river of the Peninsular India? Just imagine the peninsula of India, the bottom part of India. Your options are A, Narmada, B, Godavari, C, Mahanadi, and D, Tapi. If you have paid even a bit of attention to geography in school, then you'll be able to answer this question very easily. If not, then you'll have to think a bit. Just think of all the places where these rivers can be found. Narmada is a river that flows across central India. Starts in MP, Amarkantak. Godavari is a river that runs in the south. But is it the longest river? That is the question. Then Mahanadi mainly flows from Odisha to Chhattisgarh, and Tapi is a river that flows in Gujarat. So out of these four, only one is flowing through southern India. Hence, that will be the correct answer. It was very easy to answer actually. This is river Godavari. Godavari, also known as Dakshin Ganga, the South Ganges, is the longest river of Peninsular India and the second longest river of India after the Ganges. Ganges is Ganga, which you can find in northern India and UP and all the northern Indian states. So Godavari holds great significance for the people of the Deccan. And definitely, it is a very holy and significant river, and also the longest river in the peninsula. That is why it has so much importance in the lives of the people, because many livelihoods, many professions are run on the banks of this river or on the basis of this river. That is why it is very important for the people. So these type of questions, very basic questions actually, this is more like a general knowledge question than architecture aptitude. So these type of questions can also come. You can expect one or two questions of this type, not many, but at least one or two such questions also come every year. Okay, let's look at the next one. Again, this is a question which is related to climatology. I am again and again telling you the important topics or the topics which are repeatedly seen this year. And climatology is definitely one of them. Like if I make a priority list for the topics that are coming this year, I think climatology will be on number one, then building materials, construction techniques, then famous architect, then famous buildings. So in this manner the priority list will go, and then of course in every session there are some new questions apart from these topics as well, but you need to prepare climatology very nicely this year. That is one thing that I can tell you. The question reads, at the summer solstice, the sun rises in which direction? I think this is a question that we have also discussed earlier one time. So if you have been following these series of live sessions, then you must be able to answer this. Your options are east, west, far to the northeast, or far to the northwest. There's one more way in which you can answer this if you have studied geography nicely in school. So this is a basic sun part Earth diagram where you can understand the directions. We have always been told that Earth has a certain tilt, and these solstices actually happen because of the Earth's tilt. So Earth is tilted by a few degrees on its axis, and as you already know that Earth revolves around the sun and it rotates on its own axis. The various natural phenomena occur because of these movements of the Earth around the sun and in its own axis. But because of certain parameters, the summer solstice and winter solstice arise. Summer solstice definitely because it is in the summer. It name suggests summer. It happens in the summer in the month of June, and winter solstice happens in December. So winter solstice is 22nd December and summer solstice is 21 June. And this is something that is taught to us very thoroughly in school. Summer solstice is the longest day of the year and winter solstice is the longest night of the year. So this is possible, and the direction is far to the northeast. So option C will be the correct answer for this question. Okay, let's look at the next question. And one of my favorite type of questions, I really enjoy solving match the following type of questions because these are the easiest and the most interesting to solve. And even if you don't know the answer of these questions, you can easily deduct the answer. Match the architectural style given in list 1 with the famous building in list 2. So again, the term architecture style is coming here, the term famous building is coming here. So as I'm telling you from the beginning, that these questions are really handpicked according to this year's exam. And I have tried to keep the maximum number of questions related to whatever we are seeing in the papers this year. So in the list one, you will see the names of architecture styles from different eras, and in the list two, you can see the name of famous buildings. In the list one, options are industrial building style, brutalist style, bio-architecture style, and Gothic architecture style. In list two, you can see the Berlin Blaine Library, the Westminster Abbey, the Eiffel Tower, the Secretariat Building in Chandigarh. So now, how will you know the answer? If you do not know the styles of each and every building, then what we do is we try to find out that one which we already know or which we can guess. Okay. So I think out of these four, the most famous building, or I think a building, a structure, not building, that everyone will know is Eiffel Tower. So can anyone tell me Eiffel Tower is in which style of architecture? Ah, if I say it is A, industrial building style, because it is exposed metalwork and it's a post-industrial era building. So A can be correct for Eiffel Tower. Okay, I for sure know that Westminster Abbey, option 2 in the list 2, is constructed in the Gothic style of architecture. It's a classic example of Gothic era, Gothic style. So 2 will match with D. So what I'll do is I'll see in which option D matches with 2, and I can see D matching with 2 in just one option, that is option C. So I already know that option C can be the right answer, but I'll cross check. Okay, is A, industrial building style, matching with 3 or not? Because I'm also a bit confused about that. So A is matching with 3 in option C. And we see B, brutalist style. Brutalist styles examples are the modern era buildings actually. And B is matching with 4, and Secretariat Building Chandigarh is a modern era building made in India by a modernist architect known as Le Corbusier, very famous person, French architect, created most of his initial structures in France. And he was Swiss French, by the way, by birth. And then he became very famous and started constructing and designing buildings all over the world. And town plan of Chandigarh is also created by him, and many famous buildings in Chandigarh city. So B matching with 4 is also a good sign. And C, bioarchitecture, is the Berlin Brain Library. So from my understanding, option C can be correct. This is how I can deduce in the exam. I'm just telling you, if you do not know the right answers, this is how you can use a deduction method and you can find the answer to such questions. So let's check if it is correct or not. These are the images. In the first image, you can see the Berlin Brain Library. This is not such a popular building. I mean, it is popular, but if I compare it with the other three, you might not know it. So I specifically wanted to show you this picture because this is also a marvelous building, and the thought behind it is amazing for me. So the Berlin Brain Library on the left, and on the right, you can see the Westminster Abbey, a very beautiful and gorgeous example of Gothic architecture, initial Gothic architecture, in fact. So that's Westminster Abbey for you. You can see the famous Gothic arches here. You can see the tapestry windows here, the turrets on both the sides, the pediment that has been inspired from classical architecture, and the trellis work and all the little details, the spires on top of turrets, all these signs and features of Gothic architecture. So the right option, as per my observation or my deduction, I can say C is the right answer here. So in this way, you can solve such questions. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Taj Mahal. Okay. Another sentence is there. This is a very confusing type of question for me personally. Okay, given below are two statements. Now you have to read both these statements, and at the end you have to tell whether both these statements are true, whether both are false, or if one is true and one is false. So sometimes these statements are interrelated, and like the second one is related to the first one, and sometimes they are not related. There are two independent statements, and you have to answer on the basis of that. That is still easier. But if the two statements are correct, then it becomes more confusing. So let's look at this one. It's about Taj Mahal. So I'm hoping that you all can answer this because Taj Mahal is a very famous monument. So given below are two statements. Statement one says Taj Mahal is placed on the northern extremity of the Bagh instead of middle to take advantage of the river bank. Then the second one is statement two. The white marble of Taj Mahal is used to achieve contrast with the red sandstone of the surrounding structures. So now tell me, what is the correct answer? First option is both statement one and statement two are correct. Option B is both statement one and statement two are not correct, meaning both are false. C is statement one is correct, but statement two is not. And D is statement one is not correct. It's false, but statement two is correct. So which one do you think is the right answer? Statement one in simple words says that Taj Mahal is present inside a complex, and in that complex, it has been situated, it has been placed at the northmost end, and there is a river bank behind it, which gives a good view and like is a benefit. Okay. And statement two says the white marble of Taj Mahal has been used to achieve contrast with the red sandstone of the surrounding structures, meaning the other buildings which are around Taj Mahal are all made in red sandstone to create a good contrast. So Taj Mahal looks beautiful on its own, but this contrast accentuates the beauty of the white marble of the Taj Mahal. So which one do you think is correct or false, or what is the right answer according to you? I'll just give you 2 seconds to think. And if you think that you know the right answer, please write it in the comments so that we can also see how well you know. So this is the right answer. Option A, both statement one and statement two are correct. Absolutely, because the first one is correct. Whenever you look at the site plan of Taj Mahal, you will see the beautiful Charbagh in front of Taj Mahal. There are multiple gateways, right from the main entrance, then some arena comes, then the Charbagh comes, and another gateway is there. Then you enter the main complex, then 2, 3 other structures are there. There's a mosque and there's a sarai on one side, and then finally the Taj Mahal main building is there. So before that, you have to cross 2, 3 gateways and 2, 3 different areas. So it's a huge complex. And at the very end of the complex, the grand, mesmerizing Taj Mahal stands. And now the river has actually gone a bit far away, slightly far away from the structure, because you know already that rivers shift, they change their course over the time. But when it was constructed, at the time when it was made, the river was right behind Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal structure was at the banks of the river, and that is why the structure is situated on such high platform. Because if ever flooding happened in the river, these high platforms could save these sites, these monuments from the flooded water, and the water could not harm the structure. So that is why it was on the river bank, and definitely it was a very beautiful sight, a beautiful view to look at. That was also another reason. And then statement two, that white marble was used as a contrast, because if you've ever been to Delhi, or if you go to Delhi in the future also, please notice that all of Delhi, all old structures, they are all made in red or pink sandstone. Even if you go to Jama Masjid, if you go to Red Fort, Humayun Tomb, anything. There can be other materials which are used in small proportions to do different kind of ornamentation in the building. But the most important material is always red sandstone. And even in Taj Mahal complex, all the gateways and other structures that I just told you about, they're all in sandstone, red sandstone. So this is done because it gives a great contrast. Red sandstone and white marble look very opposite to each other, and you can see a good combination of use of these two materials in Humayun's tomb. So in Humayun's tomb, you will see both the materials are used. White marble is there in less quantity, but it creates a good contrast, which is a great principle of design that you already know about. You've studied about contrast and principles of design. So through the material, different colored and different textured material, this contrast has been created in the Mughal buildings. So that is why both statement 1 and statement 2 will be correct. Architecture, and especially historic architecture, is so interesting, and there's so much trivia and so many stories associated with each structure, each of these sites, that it is just very interesting to study. Okay, let's come to the next question. How, this is a more technical one, okay? How many minimum points are required to to create a 2D plane? So if you want to create a 2D plane means any of the 2D shapes. So how many points are required? Minimum, how many points are required to make a 2D plane? Hmm. You can see there are 4 options, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which one do you think is the right answer? And just to confuse you, they've changed the order. Okay, they've written 1, 3, 2, and 4. So the right answer is option B, 3. I think this is very like a common sense based question. The simplest 2D plane will require at least 3 points to make it. A plane is uniquely determined by any of the following: three non-collinear points, points not on a single line, a line and a point not on that line, or two distinct intersecting lines or parallel lines. So I think this is something that you've already read in mathematics, okay, in school. So you should be able to answer this very easily. Okay, let's look at the next question. Again, something related to famous architects. The Garden of the Heart, a documentary based on this documentary is based on which of the following renowned architects? And the options are Santiago Calatrava, Renzo Piano, Kisho Kurokawa, and Joseph Allenstein, also known as J.A. Steen. If you tell me on whose life the Garden of the Heart is dedicated. I've also watched this documentary, by the way. It is very interesting. And I love how, these architects think, and their philosophies, their thoughts, they are very interesting, which lead them to make such marvelous buildings and create such great designs. So this is the image of the architect. This is an hint actually for you to answer correctly. And in the second and third image, you can see two of his projects, two of his works. The second image is very popular. This is a very famous building known as India Habitat Center. And this image is of the roofing of its courtyard. And this building is present in Delhi. So the right answer is option D, Joseph Allenstein or J.A. Steen. And on this man's life, this documentary is dedicated to, and you should watch it. Okay, now this is one of the last questions for today's live. Okay. Again, in the there are two lists. In the first list, you can see the images of some famous buildings. And in the list two, you can see the names and name of the architect who has designed it. So you have to tell me by looking at these images, you have to match the names and name of the architect. So look at these 4 images carefully first to understand this better. In the list two, you can see India Habitat Center by J.A. Steen that we just discussed. And number 2 is Gagganayam Museum by F.L. Wright. And number 3 is Modern School, New Delhi by Jasbir Sachdev and Rosemary Sachdev. And option 4 is Heather Elvis Center, a very famous, one of the most renowned buildings actually of Zaha Hadid. So which one do you think is the right answer? If you don't know the right answer, please go with the deduction method that I have taught you a few minutes ago. So again, my deduction method, we'll try to find out what the correct answer is. Look at that building that you know very nicely, okay, out of these four. For example, if I know the fourth one, D building, very nicely. The D building has the famous landmark spiral. That spiral is present only in the Guggenheim Museum created by F.L. Wright or Frank Lloyd Wright. Yes, the same guy who has designed the Falling Waters as well, the connoisseur of organic architecture. So yes, D matches with 3. Sorry, D matches with 2. That is Guggenheim Museum by F.L. Wright. So I look at options where D and 2 are matching. Okay. So I can see D and 2 together in option C and option D. Now, another building that I know very nicely is C. That design, I think if someone has seen it once, I don't think it is something that you can forget. Option C definitely is number 4 in list 2, that is Heather Eleviv Center by Zaha Hadid. So now in these C and D, in these two options, I'll check where C is matching with 4. So C is matching with 4 in both of them. Okay. Surprisingly enough, in both the options C and 4 are together. Okay. So now the third one that I know is B. B is the India Habitat Center, a famous building in Delhi by Joseph Allen Steen, the guy whose documentary we were just talking about. Okay. The Garden of the Heart one. So B and 1 are matching. So now I'll see in which option B and 1 are together. So that is option C. So now you know that B is matching with 1 and C is matching with um, 4 and D is matching with 2. So automatically A matches with 3, and in option C, all of these pairs can be seen correctly. So the right answer will be option C with all the correct matches. So in this way, you can solve each and every question that is having a list or that is match the following type. Because even if you don't know the exact correct answer, there is always a way of finding out. That is why I love these questions, because they are the easiest to solve for me. Okay, let's look at this next question. Where is the famous Notre Dame Cathedral, which caught fire recently, located? Your options are Paris, Hague, Venice, and Rome. Look at these options carefully and let me know the answer in the comments. I know that you know this. I'll also tell you this famous fire happened in 2019, okay, right before COVID. And this structure is already very famous. But because of this fire incident, it got so popular everywhere. It was everywhere in the news, and the action that was taken to control that fire and post that to, just revive this building was enormous, and it was very commendable. Notre Dame is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site that I've already told you to read about. And it is also an example of Gothic style of architecture that we learned about in today's class. So the right answer for this question is, okay, before that, look at the image of this beautiful Gothic era church. And you can see the classical features of Gothic architecture here. Okay, starting from the top, you can see these turrets. I hope you can see these turrets. Turrets are small towers. They are stout towers. And you can see these trefoil arches here at the second level. You can see the gorgeous rose window, another typical feature of the Gothic style of architecture. You can see the trademark Gothic arch here. You can see the slit windows and the tracery windows. So there are multiple features in this building that can tell you that this is a Gothic building, and just by looking at it, you can identify it. So the right answer is A, Paris. Notre Dame de Paris, also called Notre Dame Cathedral, is a church in Paris. It is the most famous of the Gothic cathedrals of Middle Ages or medieval period, and is distinguished for its size, antiquity, and architectural interest. Okay, I think this is almost the last question for this class. After this, we conclude with this session and you go to the drawing session. So where is the Bada Imambara located? Bada Imambara is a famous monument, famous structure in India. It is, I'll just give you a hint, it is in one of the northern Indian states. Okay. Your options are Kolkata, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Lucknow. So this is the image of two famous structures from that city. On the left, you can see the Bada Imambara with its gorgeous domes, the minarets, and the beautiful campus. And on the right, you can see Rumi Darwaza, which is a very beautiful, magnificent gateway with the tall minarets on its side and the chhatris inspired from Rajputana architecture. As you know, Indo-Islamic architecture is an amalgamation of Indian features and Islamic features. And both these structures are present in the city, Lucknow. So option D, Lucknow will be the right answer for this question. Who amongst the following designed Indian Institute of Management? And there are many IIMs in India. Don't get confused. Very few of them are only designed by the famous classical master architects. Options are Charles Correa, B.V. Doshi, Louis I. Kahn, and A.P. Kanwinde. So which out of these four do you think is the designer of IIM? We're talking about IIM Ahmedabad, and for context, I am showing you the picture of that building. It's a beautifully designed building with great use of light and shadow, shade and shadow basically by a very pioneer architect. Right answer is C, Louis I. Kahn. So with that, we come to the end of the architectural awareness session for today. We are conducting continuous Nata sprints for the benefit of you all. But if you want to if you want to attend better sessions, more longer sessions, elaborate ones where we talk more about architecture, more about Nata, the exam pattern, all the small and big things about it, and discuss each and every topic in detail, then you have to join our crash batch. The admissions are still going on and very last few seats are left. So please note down these two numbers on your screen. You can contact us, reach out to us even through WhatsApp, and just let us know you are interested and we'll help you after that. So I think Shantanu sir has already joined for taking the next session that is on drawing. And now I'll just hand over to sir. This is me, Architect Nishtha Joshi. I hope this was a good learning session for you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nishtha ma'am. So, hello everyone. I am Shantanu. I'm an architect and a designer, and I'm associated with THiNC, and I majorly cover all the drawing topics and visual understanding, visual interpretation, and help you grow analytical understandings and grow your physical skills of drawing. So today we are discussing a set of questions so that we are able to discuss a couple of things when it comes to physically drawing something, rendering it, and moving closer towards the object drawing. Okay, so I will share my screen along with you guys, and we will discuss a question. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you. So the today's question that we are discussing is about a particular this particular question that is there flashing on my screen. So we are discussing to create a composition using the objects like computer, basically CPU, mouse, keyboard, etc. You can use a maximum of six objects. Each object at least once. Create appropriate shadows. Create a composition using. Sorry, I think just got repeated. Sorry. So this is what you are supposed to cater to. This is you are supposed to work on. Okay. So when we are discussing such kind of a question, now obviously when we just a moment. So when we are discussing such type of questions, you are free to use your own sort of a compositional skills. Use the objects in your own fashion. You're supposed to represent your thought or your ideas about this particular composition. So first of all, I would suggest is not to draw two-dimensional things. A lot of people I've seen, draw like when I say computer, people just draw this, like maybe they would be drawing like a computer, a CPU, and a mouse. That this is like we understand everybody can do this. So it is about to see your three-dimensional perception, your ability to take objects to a different plane than just drawing it flat 2D. So we're gonna understand how do we do this thing in kind of a three-dimensional approach. Okay, so we can I mean, you can look the objects in today's context, like they are quite modern. Like if you just observe, screens have become flat and almost thin like paper these days. I mean, almost possible. LED screens like hyper or even curved screens like the LG and Sony has, like to give you a amazing sort of a picture content, picture quality, whatever. So either you can also look into the very ancient, or probably like almost 10 years back, the way we used to have like the huge monitors. Okay, you can also pay and tribute to a probably revolutionizing brands like Apple, who actually came up with the small computers like Apple desktops. Okay, so we can actually create an interesting visual. So basically, we want to draw in 3 dimension, so that we are able to show its shadow. We are able to make it more interactive with the audience that we are catering to. Okay, fine. So let's try to first of all understand. So I would like to show a quick share of like how we draw this. How do we convert or create this? And probably you can compose things quite nicely as well. Okay, so I'm gonna roughly create a box. I'm not gonna speak about like a lot of perspective and all, because we are short. We are quick and like short on time. So I would just discuss about the composition. Like if you want to learn this, you can join our regular batches or crash course batches. So probably you can just contact on the phone numbers that have been just given to you guys and communicate. So we basically believe in logic creation. So we go to the core and we understand, like pay attention to each detail and how they can be drawn or can be visualized. Okay. So like probably I'm just thinking, like I thought like I would give pay a tribute to Apple as a revolutionary brand, and probably draw something that it has been able to brought to something something very revolutionary for us, and change the whole digital experience of the like we have had. So like I'm not like this is my quick sketch, like I'm blocking in my idea and I'm just trying to draw certain things by some of the references that and it was very boxy. Like if you see the design, like it was quite boxy, but we are trying to create an interesting composition. I'm trying to add certain values so that we are able to showcase the shadows. Now even if you are able to like find some old reference images of this, like even if you would look at the keyboard, it was the first ergonomic keyboard that was designed by an Apple and probably it had a nice angle for us to draw. We could, see. And the best part was like the CPU or the whole CPU was within the box itself. Okay. So either like, you must have seen the computers like which had like pretty smaller screen. Okay. And maybe had a huge, the filament or the picture tube, like, so they had like huge back, and probably they used to be kept on like this horizontal CPUs. So, I mean, I'm trying to create something more fun, more interesting, and maybe the keyboard, mouse, and maybe I would like to say like add speakers too, because they have said like, you can use maximum of 6 objects, and I would like to show a space of that person. Maybe, since I'm creating uh, probably a composition, so why not create something, that let's keep this as a key sketch. So we are constantly reminding ourselves of certain interesting things. Okay. So maybe the keyboard, like I'm not going to draw like each key. We can just like substitute things by drawing the values. So we will come back to those sort of a details like quite at the end. I mean, we don't have to like begin with the drawing details like at these stage. Maybe like this is slightly backward. So I'm going to just put it like maybe, put them closer in proximity. And maybe even the mouse, like if you have had an opportunity, or like probably if you have ever have had an opportunity to visit some like old museums, or like which has displayed, like been able to display the old products. So even the mouses were like quite boxy. They used to have like how we have a laser mouses these days. It was not there. It used to work on a like a rolling ball, and there used to be like various channels, and it used to roll up because of this. And so, but knowing a little bit about the products help you understand the details better. Okay. So whatever, even if it is old, always pay attention to the processes. And like, even if you would see like they would have like interesting wires like telephone, like which is like coiled up. Okay. So we can get up to the details. Like, but I want to do is like create a space very quickly, and I'm purposely drawing this old version of like speakers or the desktop. I'm gonna follow the same sort of a perspective. Okay. And even you see like purposely I'm not gonna draw things very dynamic, but that also helps me work on my rendering skills, because I have to showcase the experience of rendering this object. So I have to understand the uniformity, the size, and the scale and proportion of the each object that I'm drawing has to be kind of the same, right? So let's try to understand. So this is the object that I have to draw, or probably and obviously like it's just the object composition. So I don't have to come up with like uh, really something like a person in that composition. So I am using just the 6 objects, maybe like probably uh, having a computer in those days, like it was really a matter of leisure. Not everybody could afford it, or not everybody was aware about it. So probably a person who was seriously working into sectors like marketing and probably digital computer world or IT sector, or maintaining certain records, this like probably objects like maybe then in that case having a calendar or some notebooks, or even like if it is an office setup, some of those cubicles, see, like by each line we are trying to go closer to the idea, and that is what it means. Like maybe like having, so obviously there are limitations over 6 objects, but I'm trying to show the possibilities, what else can be done, like like little bit messed up sort of a notepads, notebooks, notes, and maybe some desktop interesting element. A lot of like probably I think it was revolutionized, and like the Jurassic Park, which had came, and like quite Pixar was quite in a boom in that time. Maybe like having a scale model of a dinosaur, just just to show that tribute to like maybe a Pixar also, like might help me to. And see, this is a rough sketch, rough doodle at this stage. Okay. So, but I'm going to keep it like this. And once I have to move on, I will be able to, understand the light and shadow and sort of. Now, obviously, see, this is a light blocker. So basically, this is like a notice board or small, partition board, which is basically a separator between this desk or maybe the desk which is there behind it. So I'm gonna use my light very appropriately over here. I'm gonna take away that question now, and let's understand light for if light is happening from this direction, right? Maybe it is appearing. So basically, this part is lit, and maybe the other part, this part is like in shadow. Now understand, like if the shadow is gonna fall like this, that means this entire object is in the shadow side. But I'm gonna twist it in such a way that that little bit part of it is in a brighter light. Okay, so let's try to understand things in a very interesting way. Okay, fine. So and this is, I'm going to keep it rough, but even drawing rough, you can add and you can push a lot of beauty into it by just simply understanding the shadows and maybe the other aspects of it. Okay, so I'm gonna now it's time to keep this sketch this sketch also away from it. So we are probably, I'm really sorry. We are able to extend this whole idea to, like maybe, push and maybe in very different direction. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Fine. So now we have the drawing. Okay. And now what we can do is like we can start to like incorporate that light. Okay. You see, perspective is something like, maybe this guy is actually sitting here. Maybe it's me who's looking at this hello. So it's like a greeting of the day, and to make it more interactive. Fine. So let's begin. Let's try to understand the light. Light is cutting like this. So basically this partition that we have is going to have some maybe a very, very slight shadows. Okay. I'm just going to understand the shadow part first. So this is going to be in brighter lights, but this side will have some shadows as it is in the back side of it. This is casting some shadow on the backdrop. So I'm going to put the shadow of this object. And anyway, this is something beneath it. So obviously, let's understand that light is not reaching over there. Whatever the object is away from the light, and wherever there is light, I'm gonna keep it. Okay, so this object doesn't have light. Maybe this side, we're gonna see some interesting shadows. Yep, this is covering, like I said. So this part is obviously this desktop would be casting like, if there is a light casted like this. So you understand this side is also going to be shadow, but those would be darker as they would be at the back side of it. Okay, I'm going to keep brighter light on the speaker is because this is this side because it is connected to light maybe. Okay, let's just do that. We can simply do cross hatching maybe, and I can make the shadows look more intense. Fine. Now this object itself is also casting some shadows. Maybe they would go and climb this somewhere over here on that partition wall that we have. Okay, simple compositions. But my understanding of light and shadow is has happened. So we usually discuss all this particular thing, which is called psiography, like study of shadows and light altogether with the object. So we take it quite seriously, I think, and we have very specific sessions about it. Like if you join, you would you would have detailed sessions about them. Okay, so this is speaker, and you see, like we are trying to see this, putting this quite a rough sort of idea over this. Okay. Now this, at least my basic key sketch is done. And, since now this earlier screens, if you remember, they used to be oval. So probably I'm going to keep because this side is oval. So light is here, but the one side it is going to have some shadow, right? So I'm going to keep that. The floppy disk Okay, so like trying to reminisce, trying to remember all the old sort of techniques and gadgets, like the way sort of details that you used to have. Now let's work on this. Maybe the keyboard. Now if you see, like I'm gonna keep it very brighter. Okay. Now the keys have like the structure. So light is falling from top. So the top side is going to be brighter. This is going to be darker. So earlier, if you remember, keys of the keyboard used to be popping out. They used to be external. Okay. So I'm going to, you see, like, I'm just going to make some, marks over here. So that represents like having keys over here. Okay. And I'm just like, if I just use the darker like shadows of it, like I'm gonna just represent the keys maybe quite smartly, just like a steps, because it is coming, like probably it is coming down to like this. Yeah, so something like this. Yeah, so these are the keys basically. I'm just trying to, maybe you can start with one like from the front side. Like if you face that sort of a confusion, okay, I'm not keep anything over here, but just a subtle silhouette of things just to get it correct. Okay, you see, so this is the keyboard, like draw occlusion shadows, and maybe now you see this is also to like probably the front. The darker side is yet to come, which is closer, so it will have the darkest value over here. Okay, now the beneath, which is the shadow side. Okay, so let's put some even darkest value over here. Since the bottom of this is not going to be seen, but that separation because of the light would be there, and the wires. Okay, so I'm quickly roughly drawing this, you see, but the whole idea is not about drawing each wire, each screw, uh, and but it's to draw the whole subject very holistically. Okay, so I'm gonna put up more darker values, you see, now sudden, so that we are able to occupy the space with an interesting light, and probably like making this crosshatch at certain section would able to help us see this product through. Okay, so that is there. Now probably this is something, as light is popping on this, I'm going to keep this bright, maybe keep this darker only. This light is appearing over here. Let's pay attention to some interesting details that we have been able to draw and understand. Okay, probably maybe this side of the mouse is gonna have some intense shadows. Maybe like I can push up some more details over here. See, we are just trying to do shadows with a very basic sketch. We can draw it absolutely amazingly, and we can put a lot of details very nicely. But the whole aim is to compose it right at the beginning, and then draw it in the detail and with whatever the depth that is needed to draw. Okay, maybe I would incorporate that chair over here. Maybe let's not add it over here. I will try to put this around 1/3. Okay, so some thumb rules about the composition, what you should be careful about. So yeah, probably let's try to avoid that wire a little bit. You see, make this composition more stronger, more solid, like by each step. Okay, so chair maybe, okay, but you see, it is going to be the darkest as it is the most closest to you, right? But what we have to do is not draw a lot of details. We have to keep it blurry, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm not going to draw it very sharper, because see, the whole idea of this composition has to be more important. So I'm going to keep this like quite darker. I mean, even not darkest, but the sharpest, right? So the thumb rule of putting things in order. Okay, fine, whatever. So this might have some uniform value. Maybe just just putting it, just quickly laying this like a flat pencil. Okay, fine. So this is it. Maybe now I would just draw some shadows with this keyboard. Okay, what it is, what we wanna see. Like this is it. Maybe the mouse is gonna cast some shadow over here. Like that's gonna be too big, maybe. Okay, but yeah, maybe something like as it is also closer, right? So let's just put. Okay, fine. So this is the front of it. Maybe this is slowly. Okay, this is the shadows are gonna be in the bottom way, right? Because the light is from above. It is not gonna be upward. Only this is like because this is still on the floor, but yeah, casting and done. Like maybe I can show that the top of the table, okay, and maybe I can just like hide this by just certain value. Maybe like just write something which is largely speaking about things, okay, but I'm not paying attention to like writing each letter and every word about this. So paying bit simply around things where the side would be darker, showing some shadows on the wall. Maybe some, one page is flying a little bit. So one side of shadow would be deeper, one side shallower. Okay. Let's add some detail to this guy over here. Okay. So this side would be the brightest. Okay. Because light is directly falling on him. Maybe I would draw some shadows. And you see, with just the shadows, we can, sort of achieve a lot of things. Okay. And as this is moving away from this, and now maybe with achieve this, like we can add some values and work on a value sketches. This is what we do. Usually we pay attention and take the value sketches more seriously, is because sometimes you don't draw everything but speak about many things at the same time. Is a way to draw more smarter. Okay, so probably you got it, like maybe yeah. And maybe this is how, and this is where I think I would end this. Like you can draw many things, like maybe there is a lamp that is falling on this over here, but yeah, again you would have to make sure that you influence the light of this system on this entire thing. So I would try to avoid, I would try to definitely avoid this. Maybe I would make this little more taller. Okay, and maybe and like probably like I would add those Pixar toys, and maybe this is a desktop of an animator. Okay, why not? So like probably I can add a human rig also, like who he takes it for the reference. So see every movement, every step, every sketch, or every line that I'm creating a mark with, I'm trying to go closer to the user, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create an experience. Okay, so this guy, the shadow of him. Okay, this side. Oh, sorry, this side would be the um, this side would be light, so shadow would be over here. So I'm just drawing. You see, making it all possible to understand, like this is like trying to create more realistic sort of a experience. Fine. So this is how you guys can achieve this quite simply. Okay, take a step-by-step approach. Don't draw details from the beginning of it. Okay, so probably you can learn a lot of things. Like Mama said, there are you can still join us in this creative batches. Okay, so do contact the coordinators. You might have the number at the bottom of the chat session, and you can reach out to us any moment. And this is how we deal with the things at THiNC. Okay, so I would stop this sketch over here. Obviously, a lot of things can be still done, but yeah, this is how we look at the larger pictures. See it from a farther distance, and you would be able to understand, the possibilities that simply can be created with the value sketches, you see. And obviously, detailing is quite subjective. You can draw and you can detail out anyhow at any stage, or you can stretch it to your own likings. Fine. So I think I will stop over here and I'll hand over to the host. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It really means a lot. Thank you.